And we are live, I believe. Again, it takes a little while for it to start streaming, so there's that awkward moment in there. But one of these days they'll get it to just start when you start it. Anyway, I should probably turn down the volume here on the Root Sports thing. No one's. Don't have too many people in here yet, but that's all right. We'll get. Figured we'd do a stream here during the morning and see how it goes. Kraken in Nashville taking on the Predators for the second day in a row, so that's what we're looking at. The Kraken obviously could definitely use a win here. I wouldn't say it's a must-win game, just because the Kraken do have a pretty significant, I mean at this point in the season anyway, significant lead over both the Predators and Jets, both of whom would have to pass the Kraken for them to end up out of the playoffs. So the Kraken are, I think, pretty much in the playoffs at this point. Obviously, it would be nice for them to hold on to that wild card one spot and end up playing the winner of the Central rather than playing the Vegas Golden Knights as the winner of the West, which is most likely going to be the whoever in the number 2 wild card is goes into Vegas. But yeah, Kraken. How's it going, Riley? Good to see you in here. Bright and early. Guess 11 a.m. It's early for me still on a weekend. I like sleeping in on the weekends when possible. It's become less and less possible over the last year and a half or so now, but every now and then you get the chance. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a must-win for the Kraken in this one, but they definitely would like to be that wild card 1 spot instead of the wild card 2. And well, I don't think they're going to get passed by both the Jets and Predators. You don't want to be, you want to go into the playoffs hot as well, and this game is definitely a chance to make that happen. They get Minnesota in a couple of days, which is they've Minnesota, LA a few days later, and then they end the season with 2 games in Vegas, and that's kind of the hardest test they have left. They've got still 3 games against Arizona left, and then they've got a game against the Ducks and Vancouver. They've got one in Chicago, so still a lot of easy teams left here. But the Predators I wouldn't say the Predators are one of those. They're looking to make the playoffs even after having sold at the deadline. So yeah. Unfortunately, the Kraken lost the first of 2 games in Nashville in the shootout, but Joey Decord played great. UC Saros was just a little bit better at the other end, which, I mean, considering they were close, I think that's a good showing for Decord. But game gets started here at 11 o'clock Pacific time. So, yep. Get started here, and I mean, it'll probably still be 10 minutes with the national anthem and all that. But good morning to everyone who has joined. Good morning, good morning. Or I suppose if you're on the East Coast or Europe, then good afternoon or evening. These earlier games, I'm sure the people are. I know there's a few people that watch these games from the UK, so I'm sure the people over there are enjoying the time this game is being played today. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? Welcome into this early morning stream. Compared to what we normally stream at like 5 to 7 o'clock Pacific, so streaming at 11 is, we'll consider it early morning. Let me know how you guys feeling about the Kraken's chances of making the playoffs. Are we getting nervous? I mean, again, like I said, I don't think there's any reason to be that nervous regardless of the outcome of today's game, just because there are the 2 teams that would have to pass the Kraken, not just one, and both of them have very hard schedules the rest of the way, especially compared to what Seattle's schedule looks like. So even if today doesn't go great, and even if Minnesota doesn't go great, the Kraken have a very easy schedule after that, with 6 teams that are in the hunt for Bedard and 3 teams that are in the playoffs, or 3 games I should say against teams that are in the playoffs, and 6 against teams that are competing for Bedard. You went to the game yesterday. All right. Yeah, definitely not the outcome you want, but that was definitely an for a 1-1 game. That was, I feel like, a pretty exciting one. It didn't feel like it wasn't a dull game. Sometimes 1-1 games are just kind of, oh, excuse me. Just woke up a little bit myself. Sometimes 1-1 games can be a little bit on the dull end, but I think the game was just good goaltending, honestly. And it wasn't just like when the game is just played in the neutral zone, that gets a little bit boring, but there was definitely a lot of possession in the two zones. Let's see. Oh, how's my day going? Good so far. It hasn't been long. I did get a little bit of a chance to sleep in this morning, so may have done that for a little bit longer than I meant to, because for some reason in my head, I had it that I was going to be starting the stream at 11:45 and the game was at 12, but then I'd like half an hour ago, I was like, wait, no, that's not right. So, bit of a scramble to get ready and get going on the stream, but so it has not been a long day, but gone well so far. I'm not very nervous, but I don't want to back into it. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Is you don't want to be backing into the playoffs or stumbling in or just kind of, you want to be getting on a run. And fortunately, again, with those 5 games against not very good teams right before the 2 games against Vegas, who at that point probably won't be playing for anything, um, then yeah, I think it'll give the Kraken a good chance to go into the playoffs on a bit of a hot streak if they can take advantage of it. Hopefully the Kraken make the playoffs. I think they shouldn't have too much trouble making the playoffs, but we'll see. Shouldn't have too much trouble making the playoffs. And again, I think it's definitely possible, even though I would still say it's unlikely, it's definitely possible that either the Predators or Jets jump the Kraken, especially if they continue to kind of stumble and bumble their way in. Um, but the likelihood of both of them passing the Kraken is not great, especially because they do still play each other once. And the Flames are all but mathematically eliminated at this point. They too also have at least Nashville one more time. I don't remember if they play both Nashville and the Jets left, but they at least play Nashville. So again, you've got the teams behind the Kraken still playing each other before the end of the season, and there's almost no chance they get passed by 2 of them. But again, like Ryan said, you don't want to back into the playoffs. You want to go in feeling good and getting some wins. Fortunately, I think obviously like for that to start now, but as long as it starts there in that last stretch against the not great teams, that's kind of what you're looking for. But games should be getting started here pretty soon. Almost 11 o'clock, so they'll probably be doing the introducing the starting lineups and national anthem and all that stuff, and probably end up getting started around 11:05. Games on Root Sports for those that are wondering, or obviously there's other ways to find streams. Or on cable if you have cable, which I do not. Also, yeah, again, kind of disclaimer outside of the fact that obviously I can't stream the game itself, just kind of watch along here as people are used to. Um, there is a little bit of a delay. Mention it every time, but just a reminder, there is a little bit of a delay between what's happening, like if you're watching it on cable especially, but between what's happening live and my reactions to it, YouTube has a delay of like 15 seconds, I think it is, and then the stream has a delay of anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute sometimes. So could be like a minute 15, a minute 30 before I react to whatever happens live. So I'll occasionally give updates on what the time on the clock is, like when puck drops, I'll say that, so you can try and sync up your stream or whatever with where I'm at, or again, you can watch it live and then when something happens, watch my reaction to it. Some people still have cable. Yes, some people do still have cable. Like, cable is the most convenient way to watch it. I just don't want to bother. We don't have cable set up in our house, and it's not cheap either, and I don't really need someone coming in and drilling a bunch of holes in our walls. In wrestling, I'm thinking of having the name being Quackers McKnight or the Quacker Taker, like Undertaker but with Quack. I didn't do it. Do WWE, like professional wrestlers, do they get to choose their names, or does that get choose like every? Because obviously everything's scripted, but like, do they get to choose? I'm sure they get some say, but do they all get to choose their name and their look and all that stuff, or is that, I don't know. I'm sure at more entry levels you probably get to choose your name, but I don't know. Never really thought about it. Other games today. So yeah, starting at 1 o'clock, 2 hours after the Kraken game, is LA versus the Jets. That's definitely a game to watch. At this point, it would be great if the Kraken could catch the Kings or the Oilers and get back into the top three in the Pacific, but I don't know how likely that is to happen. It's about as likely as it is for either the Predators or Jets to catch the Kraken. I guess the Oilers, I think, are still within like 4 points, so the Kraken are closer to the Oilers than they are the Jets or the Predators. But the top three teams in the Pacific have all been pretty hot lately, so go Matty Mafia. In WWE, they have their name chosen. Okay. I thought that might be. I feel like, you script everything and you're that big, you probably want to pick the names. Showing the depth of scoring the Kraken have. I want Alexiak to get that 10th goal. Alexiak's probably the only guy left that has a chance to get 10 goals by the end of the season that hasn't already. Just get that number of 10 goal players to rise a little bit. How many is it? Hold on. Let's look at how many Kraken players have the 10 goals. All right. 10 or more goals for the Kraken. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players. They could get if Alexiak gets one more, they'll have 13. I guess Morgan Geekie could get 3 more. So if Geekie gets 3 more or Alexiak gets 1 more, then they'll get to 13 guys with 10 goals. All right. One more commercial break from Root, and then we're getting things going. Go Beniers or go Matty Mafia. Yeah, we definitely want to see Matty get back on the score sheet. He's fallen behind in rookie goal scoring. He's second in goal scoring and second in assists, I think, but still safely first in points. I suppose I could pull that up. So yeah, so Beniers still has an 8-point lead over Mason McTavish for points. He's second in goals. Wyatt Johnson of Dallas with 21. Matty has 19. He's been sitting on 19 for a while. And then assists, he's second as well. He's got 30 assists, and it's Matthias Maselli. I should know how to pronounce his name, but Arizona rookie has 33 assists. And again, the Kraken will see Arizona coming up here for 3 games, so get to see him again. We just saw Dallas and Wyatt Johnson for 3 games, and Wyatt Johnson did score twice on the Kraken. But yeah, I think Maddie's still pretty safe to win the Calder. It's getting closer. It's not a full lock yet, but I think he's looking pretty good to win the Calder still. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't know that there's any other Kraken players, and I think would that be the first? I think that would be the first award won by a Kraken player. I don't think anyone. Yeah, obviously nobody won one last year. So if Maddie wins the Calder, that'd probably be the first award won by a Kraken. I think the only other guy I think gets votes. I think Vince Dunn gets probably a couple of votes for Norris. Again, the way voting works, they vote for kind of, it's like a ranked choice, and they vote for top 5. So I could see Dunn getting a couple of like 5th place votes here and there. I wouldn't. I think it's kind of 50-50 if Dunn gets votes, but I could see it. He's not going to win the Norris. Now, Erik Karlsson's definitely going to win the Norris. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he'll probably get a couple of 5th place votes here and there to at least get on the board, which is, that's cool. Good honor. And he's had a great season, obviously still leading the Kraken in points. Got another assist got an assist on the 1 goal in the last game in Nashville. And leading the team with 58 points. So he's still well behind Erik Karlsson or Cale Makar or some of those guys. I want to see Vegas revenge in Dallas. All right, here we go there. They had a whole ceremony honoring UC Saro, or not UC, Pekka Rinne. They unveiled a statue of Pekka Rinne, so they're putting out like a carpet and stuff for him. Couple of games already going in the second period. The Lightning are in Boston playing the Bruins, tied 1-1 early on in the second. And then Detroit and the Flyers, the Red Wings and Flyers, 2 winged logos. 5 minutes into the second, still scoreless there. So those are the 2 games going. Not a lot of interest there for the Kraken. Kraken do obviously have interest in the Jets in LA playing the Kings. Again, as long as that game doesn't go to overtime, you're probably happy, but you just don't want that to turn into a 3-point game. And again, it's probably better for the Kraken at this point if the Jets lose, just to make the chances at the playoffs that much more likely. And they're not super likely to catch the Kings at this point. Still play the Kings one more time, so it's still possible, but not particularly likely. So if you're the super optimistic type, maybe you're cheering for the Jets in that game. If you're just in the let's make the playoffs, then probably cheering for the Kings in that one. Otherwise, let's see. Also at 1 o'clock, San Jose's in Calgary playing the Flames. Definitely cheering for San Jose in that game, not only because it takes whatever small chance Calgary still has at passing anybody to make the playoffs and gets rid of it. It also gets the Sharks that little bit farther away from Bedard, which is definitely important since the Blue Jackets keep winning games, which is annoying. Other games: Rangers at Panthers, Blackhawks at Wild. You definitely want the Wild to win that again for the Bedard thing. Sabres at Islanders, Leafs at Hurricanes, Canucks at Stars, Blue Jackets at Canadians. Just, again, that one you don't want it to be overtime. You probably want the Habs to win, but both of those teams are in the Bedard sweepstake. Senators, Devils, don't really care who wins that. You got the Ovechkin-Crosby matchup, Capitals versus Penguins. Then another one the Kraken will be watching, but again, I don't think they really catch either of these teams, certainly not Vegas, is Vegas in Edmonton against the Oilers. You're probably cheering for Vegas there because, again, the Kraken aren't going to catch Vegas, but they could catch Edmonton still and sneak back up into the top 3. Of course, that being said, the way the Kings are playing right now, I'd almost rather face whoever wins the West, as long as it's not Colorado, than play the Kings. But we'll see. And then Blues versus Ducks, you're cheering for the Ducks there again, so they stay away from Bedard. That's the games we're looking at today, other than this one in Seattle. Or not in Seattle, sorry. Of Seattle in Nashville. Their second game in Nashville in 3 days. Also, Nashville's the place the Kraken got their first ever win, so they got that going. They've never lost in regulation in Nashville. Should probably knock on wood after saying that right before the game starts. But yeah, this is where the Kraken got their first ever franchise win in Game 2 of last season. Go Matty Mafia, indeed. Oh, it's the same one I saw earlier. Okay. Alrighty. One second here. Alright, yep, there's Picarene dropping the puck. Gord out there to take the face off. That's interesting. So you always have the captain. Whenever there's a ceremonial puck drop like that, it's always the captains of the two teams that'll come and take that face off. Kraken obviously without a captain. Interesting that Gord was the one that went to go take it. Gord was the guy I was expecting to be the captain coming into the season because I thought they would have a captain. Obviously they don't. And that debate continues throughout the season. Lots of people want to give Gord the C. Eberle was the other guy I think that was fairly likely to get it. But it seems like they're saving it for Beniers. So we'll find out. Could still, if they are saving it for Beniers, then they probably don't do it next season even. They probably don't have a captain and then give it to Beniers in his 3rd year. I don't know. We'll see. Because I feel like if they were going to give it to somebody that's on the roster like Gord or Eberle, they probably would have just done it. But the game has started. We got icing right away on the Predators, 10 seconds in, and we're headed down to the other side of the ice. Let me know if you can hear me all right. I'm trying to talk close to the mic here, but let me know if it's a little too quiet. And yeah, I definitely need a haircut. I know. Here we go. Nice hit by McCann on the forecheck there. But the Predators are able to get possession and chip it out. Ooh. That looked a lot like the one that Sprong scored in Dallas, just thrown out from the side to a guy crashing in on the net. But looks like it was not even on net, so Decord doesn't have to make the save. I think that is Decord in net. I actually didn't see. Nope, it's Jones. My bad. Should have been paying attention to that from the beginning. But Martin Jones in net for the Kraken, even after Decord had that good game. Oh, is that Grubauer? Oh, that's Grubauer. Never mind. What am I talking about? I'll get it right eventually, you know? So 31's in net, so that is Grubauer. No, it's looks like Grubauer. I suppose I could look it up to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that's Grubauer. Yep. Yeah, Grubauer versus Saros, the goalie matchup. So Grubauer's feeling better. That's good. Unfortunately, the Kraken do get Saros again. That's the downside of this not being a back-to-back. Oh, he slipped. The ice is slippery. Oh, just shoot that. Dang it, Gord. Gord tried to get the pass through and is broken up. Just gotta... I mean, in that tight, Saros probably makes the save, but you just gotta shoot those. Saros out to play the puck. I will say that was a fun part about having good Decord in net is he plays the puck a lot, and I like that. It's fun to watch. And he's pretty good at it, too. Sprong down there, harassing the Predators. They try to get it broken out again. Not a lot of play in the offense or defensive zone for either team yet. Been mostly a game played in neutral zone and dump-ins. Mostly the team that's in their defensive end has been controlling the puck. Oh, Donato's got it here. We got a chance. Oh, Donato scored! Wait. He must have just shoved it through the 5-hole. Alright, hopefully that's not the only goal of the game. Here we go. So Donato back in the lineup. Looks like in place of Geeky. Sprong is still in. He just goes in and... yeah, he must have just shoved it right through the 5-hole. See if we get a look up top. Oh no, Sprong scored. Saros made the save on Donato and then Sprong tapped it in off the rebound. Let's go. So Sprong stays hot. Another one for Sprong. And that's like almost the exact same time that Sprong scored in the last game, I think. Maybe a minute later. Oh, they're reviewing it for kicking. All right. Well, this never goes well for the Kraken. No, he hits it with his stick. That should be a pretty short review. Yeah, his feet aren't anywhere near where that goes in. That'll be a short review. They're reviewing it. If this is a coach's challenge, the Kraken are getting a power play. Oh, is he's challenging for goaltender interference? See, that makes more sense than the kicking motion. Again, these tend to not go well for the Kraken, but they did just have one go their way in Dallas. Yeah. This could come back. There was a touch there between Donato and Saros and on the leg that he would have been able to try to push back. I don't know if it prevented him from making the save, but you can definitely make the argument that it did. And again, this is something that has not gone the Kraken way very often, so we'll find out. But I could see this one getting overturned. Again, if you're watching on cable, you're probably ahead of me, so we're still waiting on the review here. Oh, it looks like they've come to their decision, so we're coming out. There is like a little bit of a tap between Donato and Saros, but here we go. All right, no goaltender interference. Good goal. Let's go. So now the Sprong gets his goal and looks like he's headed right back out on the power play. So the Kraken will get a power play now with the. I know there's people with mixed feelings on this. I love that hockey has a real penalty for failing a challenge. So the Kraken go to the power play with the failed challenge by Nashville and a chance to go up 2-0 early. Of course, the power play has been 5 games without a goal, so they could definitely use one. Yeah. That was not the best run through the neutral zone by a power play I've ever seen. Eberle off the boards to himself. The Kraken do get into the offensive end. Sprong out to Lars. Who's that? That was the second unit that's out there first. They are having trouble getting into the offensive end. Would I ever dye my hair blue? No. No. A shorthanded chance. Nothing there. Don't know how much time's left on the power play because Root Sports has not gotten that up yet. All right, first power play unit is out there now. Not a great run for the second unit. Okay, so it turns out in the building they don't even have it up there. So it can't be going well. I mean, the Kraken have like hardly even gotten to the offensive end on this power play. My guess would be like 20 seconds left, maybe one more go at it here. Maybe 30 seconds left. So yeah, even Forsland is guessing how much time is left on the power play. But it hasn't really mattered. The Kraken have not... Oh, power play's over. It just came out of the box. So, yep, that was just about the most lackluster power play you're going to see. Would you dye your hair if the Kraken won the cup? No, probably not. I just don't want to go through the trouble of doing it. A little pushing and shoving between Tanev and some Predators right in front of their net. Ill feelings. One second here, I gotta... There we go. Alright, looks like Nashville's going to the power play now. Eberle called for tripping. Yeah, that's... Yeah, and Eberle knew it right away, too. Well, oh, we got the power play clock for the Nashville one. Well, you definitely don't want to see Nashville score on this power play, not only because it would tie the game, but it just feel pretty bad right after the Kraken couldn't get anything going on theirs. It's been a problem all season long for the most part. The penalty kill had a bit of a hot streak. The power play had a good start to the season, but I feel like the penalty kill has been mostly good since kind of mid-January. Or maybe early. Yeah, kind of early to mid-January. The power play, though, has been pretty mediocre since that hot start to the season to just straight up bad. Saved by Grubauer. That's the first shot on goal by Nashville, I think. I don't know if that one got through. Well, Nashville is at least able to hold the zone, which is something the Kraken couldn't do. Okay, that one was definitely on goal, so they'll at least get one shot here. Oh yeah, so that one went off Alexiak. And Grubauer caught that one clean. Minute left on the power play. Just about. About to drop it here with 107 left in the power play. Here we go. Nashville wins the face-off. They're able to get back set up. Passing around the outside. Still no shot. Still no shot. Missed pass. See if the Kraken can try and... There we go. McCann's got it. Or maybe that's Tanev, actually. Either way, it's dumped way down. Kraken get a clear there, which is good. Gord down doing some forechecking, just circling around mostly, just stalling, and then he'll go off for a change. 30 seconds left as Nashville gets out of their end on the power play. Nashville with just the one shot so far on this power play and one shot in the game. They have yet to get a shot 5-on-5. Of course, 4 minutes of this game have now been on the power play for, I mean, special teams. Both teams with the power play. Shot. Either went off Grubauer or went wide. It didn't go into the net, and that's all we care about. All right, Kraken kill it off with just the one shot allowed, or one shot on goal. They got 3 shots and a couple of blocks for the Kraken, or maybe 4 shots with the one that went wide. Sprong got another goal, yep. Sprong getting close to 20. That'd be fun to see Sprong get 20 on the season. The Preds back in the offensive end. Beniers with the puck. Circles. He'll get it down to Soucy behind the net. Soucy back to Beniers. Or no, that's Schultz. Sorry. Here's Beniers with it now. Into the offensive end. Tries to feed it up for Eberle. Eberle back to Beniers. Beniers fires off a stick wide. Bumpered out. Larson shot. Saved by Saros. Schwartz tries to get to Beniers, but a little bit too much on that hook pass, and it goes right to Nashville, and they'll dump it in and go for a change. Grubauer handling behind the net, out to Larson. Larson around back to Dunn. Dunn gets it up the boards, off a stick, into the neutral zone. Sprong with it, going in. Down along the boards. He's going to wrap around. Oh, saved by Saros. Dunn flubs the shot. Donato. Tanev with the puck now, off a skate and out of the zone. The Kraken will regroup. Alexiak with it now, a cross pass picked up by Sprong on the way back. Sprong still with it. He needs to get off on a change, but he'll post up behind the net, drop it off for Will Borgen behind the net as Sprong goes off for that change. Here's Gord through the neutral zone. Dumps it into the corner. He'll go in on the forecheck. The ref has a stick. He's not playing in the game in spite of holding that stick. Does look funny, though. Gord shoots! Off the stick of somebody. I think it might have gone off the stick and didn't get on net. Looks like it was on Saros from the angle, but I don't think it was. Ref still holding that stick. I guess it's more of a linesman, maybe, but... It was the ref. No. Not 41. My bad. Forgot about this. Forgot to give the Kraken the goal. There we go. Now it's 1-0 Kraken. I was almost 41-0. I typed too many numbers, but I caught it. 41-0 would be really something. Even in football, that would be something. Here we go. Kraken Schultz. Oh! Heck of a save by Saros. The Kraken are really getting some good offense going now. Oh, trip by Soucy. Good defense from Geeky. Oh, but they're going to get a call. So maybe a little bit too much of good defense. 6-on-5 right now. And it'll be Geeky for a hook or a hold. Do I have a favorite Kraken player? I don't know. I like all of them. They're all good dudes. In particular, like I definitely have a soft spot for Gord and Heberly for whatever reason. Obviously Beniers. Score still says 0-0. Whoops. Yeah, it says 1-0 now. We got it cleared. We're good. Got it figured out eventually. So the Kraken back to the kill. Again, the Kraken kill has been pretty good of late, but you don't want to be tempting it this many times. And Nashville's power play, I don't think they have a great power play. And again, like their power play is going to be less talented than it was over the course of the full season because they sold at the trade deadline. But let's just see where that power play's at. I can't imagine they have a great power play. No, their power play is worse than the Kraken power play, which says something. Again, that is kind of propped up by the good start the Kraken had to the season, but they are a 17.9 on the power play, or actually just ahead of San Jose. There are, so they're seventh from the bottom. Should put them like I think it's 25th. They would be ranked then. So not a very good power play, but the Kraken penalty kill has also not been. Again, they've been a lot better of late, but the oh wow, look at that! The Kraken have worked there all the way up to 26th. Vancouver is still safely the worst penalty kill in the NHL. Do you think the Kraken will hit 100 points? They'd have to have a hot start to the. Realistically, probably. If I had to bet on it, I would say no, but it's a close one. Like I wouldn't want to bet on it. They definitely have a chance to if they can get hot here at the end of the season, which they've shown they're a streaky team, so they definitely could do that. But I would call it maybe slightly under 50-50 that they hit 100 points. They'll get close. My guess is somewhere in the like 90 like 95 to 98 range, somewhere in there is kind of what I'm guessing. Evangelista shot goes wide. Oh, one of the Nashville players got maybe cross-checked into the net, but fell into the net. Shot stopped by Grubauer. And a whack out of the zone. Another clear by the Kraken. I think that'll be Nashville's second shot on goal. Still without a 5-on-5 shot. Still hasn't gone up yet. 45 seconds left on the power play for the Predators. Borgen freezing the puck behind the Kraken net. Soucy trying to get to it. Looks like Tanev might get to it, and Soucy will clear it again. So Kraken clear it with just over 30 seconds left. It's now 30 seconds at the puck behind the net for Nashville. As they get it back through the neutral zone. Try to break in. Good play there by Soucy to break that up. Tanev will squirt it along the boards. Wennberg tries to freeze it, but Nashville will eventually get it, and it goes out of the zone. The pass couldn't be handled. So 9 seconds left on the power play. Nashville now getting back into the Kraken end. Sissons has the puck now behind the Kraken net. Oh, nice play by Borgen. A little check there, but Sissons holds on to the puck. And the Kraken kill it off. Can't just dump it now, but they will at least get it out, get off on a change. Crazy Eyes Tanev. I thought you would say Burakovsky. No, Burakovsky's still not back. He was skating for a little bit. The Kraken had him skating around the end of the last road trip. But I don't know if he regressed or if he just wasn't ready, but he hasn't been skating at practices. So yeah, it's still unknown with Burakovsky when he's going to be back, unfortunately. It seemed like it was going to be soon, but now it's looking like he might still be a week or two out. Obviously, you'd like to get him back, get him a few games in the regular season before the playoffs, just so he's not coming into the playoffs cold, but you definitely need him back by the playoffs. So, well, another good kill by the Kraken. See, I don't know if they actually counted that other one as a shot on goal. Let's find out. They did not, apparently, so that must have gotten blocked in front or something. But still just the one shot on goal. So Kraken kill off that power play without a shot on goal, technically. They got a couple of shots. It was definitely a better kill from the Kraken than the first one, although both kills were pretty good, allowing just one shot on goal between the two power plays, and haven't allowed a shot on goal other than that yet. All right, so Decord 1-0-1. Decord went 1-0-1 in the two games, obviously, as we know. 906 save percentage and a 2.36 goals against. Grubauer tries to rim it around, but Nashville gets it. Fortunately, Grubauer is able to get back to the net. Beniers now with the puck behind the Kraken net. He'll circle around and dump it back across to Susie, it looks like. Nope, that was done. So the 98 and 99 look very similar. McCann around. Oh, net's off. I was like, what are they whistling it dead for? The Kraken were winding up for a good chance there, but... Yep, that sucks. The net gets knocked off, and the Kraken would have had a good scoring chance there, but no doing. Ron Francis up there watching the game. I don't think he was too happy about that net being off. The Kraken were definitely going to get a good shot there. 6:21 left in the first period. Kraken leading 1-0 and leading shots on goal 10-1. Nashville yet to get a shot on goal at even strength. 2 power plays for Nashville so far with the 1 shot on goal. Obviously no goals. And the Kraken 1 power play that was worse than either of the Nashville power plays. So Geeky. Oh, puts it through. He pulled Saros out, but he put it through the blue on the tight angle. Sissons in on the break. And he's going to get, yeah. Oh, careful, Sissons is down there. Oh, Dunn is, woo, Dunn's going after Grubauer. He's not going after Grubauer, going after Sissons in defense of Grubauer is what I mean there. Oh, but yeah, Dunn coming to the defense there for sure. Yeah, he just went right into Grubauer. That's going to be a power play for the Kraken. Should be. Dunn's going to the box as well. There's no way this evens out. Okay. So Dunn and Sissons trade roughing calls, and Sissons gets the goaltender interference. So the Kraken will get the power play. It might be 4-on-3. Oh, Geeky put it. Oh, he pulled Saros out and then just put it right wide of the net, and Schwartz couldn't get the. So it is 5-on-4. So lots of special teams in this first period. 2 power plays apiece so far. See if the Kraken can be the first team to score on the power play. Haven't seen much of Tolvanen yet this game, but he is out there on the power play. Here he goes, McCann. Oh, you like seeing McCann shoot from that spot. Oh, yeah, just put it a bit high. Maybe it went off a stick. Might have gone off a stick in front, but that's definitely one of the ones they're looking for. They're looking for either a one-timer from Tolvanen on that side, or they're looking for McCann to get that shot off from the face-off circle. Kind of across to Tolvanen. Oh, he mishandled it. He'll get it back down to Schultz, though. Now McCann from his spot. Whoop, a little pushing and shoving in front of the net. It's definitely getting a bit chippy. That's Bjorkstrand getting involved there in front of the net. A couple of shots from McCann on this power play already, although one didn't get on net. That one does. Save is still made by Saros, though. Why isn't it? Sometimes when they trade roughing calls, sometimes they'll just go to. So usually they won't go to 5-on-5, but if they have traded calls, they usually will just do 5-on-4 for the power play. Ultimately, it's up to the ref, kind of a thing. Honestly, I'd have to go look at the rule book to see what the exact rule is, but this is the more common thing. If they've got traded roughings and a call, they'll usually have those traded roughings just cancel each other out and then just go to a normal power play, like what we're seeing. Power play, which the Kraken have 50 seconds left on, as the second unit is out there and going through the neutral zone. Sprong hops over the puck, and Eberle gets to it. It's kind of trapped along the boards now, though. Everyone's whacking away at it along the boards. 30 seconds left on the power play for the Kraken. Nashville's happy to have it just frozen against the boards here, for sure. Eberle's now on the ground, but still trapped along the boards. It is still trapped along the boards, and it finally comes out. Schultz to Beniers! Oh, he mishit. And it gets out. That'll end the power play. Beniers the mishit on the one-timer. They got the one shot from McCann on the power play, and then a miss by Beniers and a miss by McCann as well. There's another penalty coming up. Who's it on? Well, there's a broken stick with a Kraken player skating away without a stick. So there's a slashing, and I'd have to imagine this is a Kraken power play, but yeah, Donato's stick got broken. Yep. Duchesne just snapped Donato's stick in half, so Kraken get another power play to 3:30 left in the first, and the Kraken back to the power play. Not that it's looked like it's... both teams have one shot on goal to show from 2 power plays, so... This one's getting a bit chippy, and this is... I mean, this is what you can definitely get in, like, playoff series, where these two teams have now played each other twice in 3 days, and... There wasn't a ton of chippiness in the last game, a little bit of, like, words shared between Tanev and Lauzon, as we mentioned in the R&R, but... It's definitely some pushing and shoving, little extracurriculars going on after plays here between these two teams here in the first period. I wish I could wear the Seahawks helmet. I can, but it's pretty tight. It's a tight fit. Yeah, I'd have to look up why I had the NHL rulebook pulled up for a while, but then my computer restarted, and I mean, I could go pull it up again at some point. Yeah, I don't know what the exact rule is as far as why they didn't go 4-on-3, but that was the common thing what they did, where if you have traded roughing calls, especially, sometimes just if it's just traded calls, they'll just go to traded calls, and then an extra they'll just go to 5-on-4. You usually don't get 4-on-3 unless it happens over the course of it, but usually, like, roughings, and I mean, obviously with fighting we already know, but roughings, if it's traded, sometimes they'll treat it like a fighting if a team is still going to get a power play at the back end of it. Yep, Sissons is back in the box. Interesting. Oh, yeah, so Sissons is in the box with Duchesne, and it's still 4-on-3, so that probably means Duchesne has got a misconduct or something, which means he'll be in the box for 5 minutes after this power play comes to an end. And possibly more than that, because it's 5 minutes and then whenever the next stoppage is. And Dunn turns it over, and they'll clear it. Kraken just having a hard time getting set up in the offensive end on the power play. Here's Wemberg. Nashville saying, "Ref, you suck." I guess I haven't seen a replay of the... Duchesne must have been unhappy about the call if... Oh, across to Tolvanen, shot! Scores! Ellie Tolvanen! Was it tipped in front? I think it was Tolvanen. Let's go! Number 2-0 makes it 2-0 Kraken. Nice pass from McCann, gets Tolvanen across, and then... Yeah, I think that's straight in. Yep, straight in, top corner, perfect shot from Tolvanen. Yeah, that doesn't get Wemberg at all. Tolvanen scoring on his old team. Let's go. Nope, Tolvanen scoring in Nashville again. Just not for the Predators. Oh, Beniers with a shot on goal, saved by Saros. Rebound not picked up. That was a sneaky little backhanded shot from Beniers there. So we are back at 5-on-5 with, I think, Duchesne still in the box. So it must have been... Here we go. Beniers through center, getting into the offensive end. He'll dump it around and get to it in the corner. I guess they're saying offside. Probably was. I was only paying attention to Beniers, to be honest. If a player gets 2 penalties, but one is offset, they get saved at the same... No, they would get served separately. Well, maybe they do get served at the same time. Yeah, it does get served at the same time, because that's why they had the extra guy go into the box to serve the other one, I think. Yeah, so they would get served at the same time, and then they have a second player go into the box to serve one of the offsetting one. They're saying that that got across, so it's offside again. 1:16 left in the first. Tanev was asking for that one. Skating around in front of the bench, yelling at him. Yeah, you're asking for a shoulder. Dunn gets a hit there. Larson with the puck behind the boards. It's now fought for. 1 minute left in the first. Kraken lead 2-0, which I have correctly marked. Took me a while to get the first goal up there, but we got the second one in time. Gord now with it in behind the net. Puck on his backhand, one hand. Back for Dunn. Dunn's going to get it out to the side to Larson. Larson's going to fire it towards the net. Blocked in front. Looks like Trennan has it. Wemberg out. Oh, Dunn to Bjorkstrand, a tip right in front of the net, but goes wide. Tolvanen's got it. Tolvanen will put it around the side. 30 seconds left. Dunn gets to it. He puts it back behind the net. And looks like the Predators will get it out. They do. Bjorkstrand definitely hounding that, but... Oop, and then a whiff, so the Kraken get it back. Lead pass, but that's going to be no icing. Bjorkstrand goes for the hit rather than the puck. Interesting choice. That guy's definitely bigger than him. But we've seen Bjorkstrand get involved in some of the pushing and shoving. And that is it for the first period. So the Kraken lead 2-0 at the end of one. With more goals than Nashville has shots on goal. The Predators only managing the one shot on goal. That coming on their first power play. Yet to get a shot on goal 5-on-5. And there have been 5 power plays, though. So, I mean, 10 minutes of half of that first period was spent on special teams. The Kraken eventually getting one. They get the first one, though, is Ryan Donato crossing in front of the net. He tries to shove it 5-hole. Saros made the save, but Sprong was able to shovel in the rebound. So the Kraken get early 1-0 lead on another Sprong goal. And then they eventually do find a power play goal for the first time in 12 or 13 attempts, but 6 games. First power play goal in 6 games puts the Kraken up 2-0. It comes from Eli Tolvanen, number 20, making it 2-0 Kraken and scoring on his old team. So, yep, 2-0 going into the second with Nashville only having the one shot on goal. So yeah, pretty good first period, all things considered, from the Kraken. Nashville definitely got, like, they were getting some offensive zone time and some shot attempts, but the Kraken, again, kind of, it's a lot like the first period from the last game. They just were not letting much happen, not letting a lot get through to the goaltender. In that case, it was Decord Grubauer in for this one. Trying to pull up the... So yeah, Nashville got, looks like, based on shot attempts, they got 4 during their first power play, only 1 on goal. They got 1 on their second power play. And they got one right before the second Kraken power play and one right before the third Kraken power play. So that's still 1, 2, 3. That's still just 7-shot attempts for the Predators. 7-shot attempts. Meanwhile, the Kraken have got 13 shots on goal. I've got a bet going against my cousin, Nicholas, right now. If I win, he's going to fork over $200. Luckily, I bet on Seattle winning. So far, it looks really good. Easy money, I hope. Is it just a straight up bet the winner of this game? That's a big bet on one hockey game. One regular season hockey game, like. But yeah, looking good so far for you. Kraken outscoring the shots on goal from Nashville. Exactly. All right. Well, good for you then. And it's still 2 periods, so the game's not over yet, but it's very, very good first period for the Kraken. And just so we're, let's look at this just to be sure. I'm pretty sure the franchise record, and again, still 2 periods left, and a lot can change in 2 periods, but I'm pretty sure the franchise record for shots on goal allowed, or fewest shots on goal allowed, is 14. I think they allowed 14 against, I think it was Columbus in one of the games they played Columbus last year. Let's see here. Team statistics. And we want team game log. Is that what we want? Yes. So the least they've allowed this season. This season they allowed 16 to the Sabres on October 25th of last year, but this season. And then they allowed 16 on December 6th to the Montreal Canadiens. Both of those games are home games. So the 16, the fewest they've allowed on the road so far this season is 18 in Philadelphia. But then last season, last season they allowed 14. The lowest they allowed was 14 on goal against the Senators at home last season in a 4-2 win. And then the lowest they allowed on the road last season was 19, and that was the shutout in New York against the Islanders. That was the first shutout in franchise history. The 3-0 win there right before the All-Star break. So 18 is the franchise record for shots on goal allowed. Fewest shots on goal allowed on the road is 18, and in general is 14. So Kraken definitely on pace for just allowing 3. So they're definitely on pace to break that, but definitely a good start there. Nice shot from Tolvanen. Yeah, he handles it once. Saros is able to get over and set up for him, but yeah, Wemberg kind of flashing in front there to give a bit of a screen for that Tolvanen shot. Saros was still in position for it though. He kind of like he had the glove up, and I think he thought he had the corner covered with the glove, because he kind of like backs off to the side towards the middle of the net when the shot comes, which might have been him trying to look around the screen of Wemberg right as the shot comes. So Wemberg with an unofficial assist there on the screen. I wish I had that kind of confidence referring to the $200 bet. That's a tough bet even for a Bruins game. There's a lot of hockey left. Yes, lots of hockey left. More than enough. I mean, we've recently seen the Kraken blow a 2-goal lead with 5 minutes left. They can definitely do it with 40 minutes left. it is worth mentioning Nashville has been scoring an average of 2 goals a game over since the All-Star or since the trade deadline. They've scored 2 goals a game average. So I would say it's looking good at the moment, but yeah, certainly not over. I got a little snack here. I gotta put something in my stomach. Excuse the rustling noises. A little like granola bite things. How's my son doing? He's doing good. Don't know what he's up to today. I think he went on a little adventure early in the day. But he's doing good. They're going to make this a fight between the special teams. Well, so far so good that way for the Kraken. Again, they've only allowed the one shot on 2 Nashville power plays, and they did get a goal finally. Their power play was, in fact, I would say the first 2 power plays for the Kraken were worse than the first 2 power plays for the Predators, even though Predators only got the 1 shot on goal. But that third power play, they eventually managed to score. So the way this game is going, though, yeah, there's going to be more penalties. It's gotten pretty chippy, and it seems like the officials are not wanting to let it get out of hand, which is, I mean, that's the way it should be handled. I think it's been pretty well officiated so far, and yeah, just looks like a game that's getting pretty physical. Actually, speaking of the little boy, he should be napping right now. These Premier Blue Cross commercials are kind of silly. A little awkward. I do appreciate that they got a full like one-man band outfit on Donato though. The one with McCann is a very awkward commercial. And I'm not blaming McCann at all for that. It just seems like it's kind of interesting writing on that one. I don't know. Produced on a budget, I would say, is the vibe I get from those Premier Blue Cross commercials. Yeah, we're first intermission. Kraken leading 2-0 with just the 1 shot on goal allowed. So a good defensive game so far from the Kraken, and able to get more past Saros already than they did in the last game. Fortunate, they got the early goal again. Once again, it's an early goal from Sprong that got the Kraken on the board, and this time they were able to make sure that wasn't the last goal of the game. At least getting one more so far off of the power play goal from Ellie Tolvanen, the ex-Nashville Predators. So I'm sure Preds fans were just so excited to see Tolvanen score against them. In fact, you know what? Let's see if Reddit has any gems for us on. See if Preds fans have any feelings about Tolvanen scoring against them. There's got to be a highlight of it. Maybe it's not up yet. Asking Donato what he thinks about the chippiness of the game. Yep. Yep, Donato mentioning that it's the second game in a row against the same team, which probably is part of the reason for the chippiness. That's I would say we didn't really see that. I feel like in the second game against Dallas, it seemed like that was a kind of just another game. The second one there, But yeah, it's definitely showing up here. Of course, it kind of all started with. I wouldn't even say it all started there, but it definitely took off when there was that goaltender interference when Sissons kind of ran into Grubauer and then got caught up in his pads, and Dunn went to the defense there. Still not seeing the. I was hoping they'd have a highlight up on Reddit of the Tolvanen goal and see what Nashville fans have to think about it. Anyway, I'm not seeing anything. Oh well. Scott, what would be your reaction if Vegas wins the cup? Not happy. Uh, I know, I know you're a Vegas fan, Riley. I think Vegas might be my least favorite team, which is I'd be happy for you, Riley, but that would be it. That would be the only thing only silver lining to Vegas winning would be I'd be happy for you having the team you cheer for score win it all, but yeah, I wouldn't be pleased with that personally. Now, if it means the Kraken also get to win a cup in their first 5 seasons, then you know what, so be it. That's if that's the sacrifice we have to make, then I'll allow it. But since that's not necessarily how it works, I'm gonna say I would not be too happy. It's definitely possible, though. I would say at this point, I still think the Avs are probably my favorite to come out of the West right now, but Vegas is a close second to me. I don't really know who else. Like, see, Edmonton's definitely talented enough to do it, as always, but there's just the question marks again of defense and goaltending in Edmonton. And I think Edmonton could make another deep run, but I mean, eventually it catches up with you, right? All you need is the one, like, you just need the goaltending or the defense to just stumble in one series and it's all over. And I mean, stumble more than they already do, or actually with bad goaltending and not bad. I mean, with less than great goaltending and defense, all you really need is the offense to not show up for one series, and then you're kind of done. Which is, I mean, that's what we saw with them getting swept against the Avs last season, and obviously the Avs were a better team, but yeah, I just until Edmonton can get the goaltending or defense figured out, I have a hard time seeing them winning it because you'd have to make that run all the way through the playoffs in spite of it. LA though, LA was a good team with a terrible season from Quick behind them, and unfortunately that move out of Quick seems like it's worked out for them. So I think LA has a chance, and if it's LA Edmonton in the first round, that's going to be a heck of a first round to watch. And I will say the one upside of the crack if the Kraken do end up as the first wild card and playing the winner of the Central, which I think is the most likely outcome right now. One upside of that, and this is definitely not the matchup I would be cheering for necessarily, but it would be a fun matchup, would be LA Vegas in the second round. And I could be okay with that matchup without having to worry about the Kraken losing in order for it to happen, which would, if the Kraken end up in the Pacific, what is that? What is that pose this lady's doing in front of the Rene statue? I don't know what that pose she was doing in front of the statue was. That was kind of weird. Whatever. Having fun, living your life. There's a lot of records. I don't know why there's. Anyway. Tanev going to the Nashville bench a couple of times and getting involved. Yeah, Nashville's definitely. I mean, the Kraken are equal to the task, but Nashville's definitely trying to send this game to special teams as much as possible, which honestly against the Kraken is a pretty decent strategy. Yeah, the Kraken did allow. So that is one thing to mention. The Kraken allowed 3 shots in the first period in the game on Thursday, the last one in Nashville, and that one ended. I know they got into the 20s, so. But here we go. First line out there, the Beniers line out there to take the face off to start out the second period, and we are going to get underway here. Dropped in. The second period has started. Beniers wins the face off. Nashville gets to it. All right, and they're back out. Whoop. Puck gets past McCann. Nashville picks it up in the neutral zone. In behind the net. I don't know if either of those were shots on goal, but they're trying to do that like shot off the back of Grubauer that we saw Sprong score on in that start of the game on Thursday. I don't know if they got a shot on goal there. It hasn't popped up yet. But we can watch shots on goal a little bit here. Do you have a least favorite Eastern Conference NHL team? Boston Bruins. I just don't like Boston teams. I'm not a big fan of the Caps either, just because their jerseys and logo are so bad. But that's pretty much the only reason I don't like the Capitals. Here we go. Shot from Borgen's shot blocked right in front, and Nashville will get it back out. Yeah, so unfortunately, the best team in the West and the best team in the East are my two least favorite teams this season. But that's how it goes sometimes. And Nashville scores. Very similar goal to the one that they scored on first in the last game. A rebound. Yep, that was a very similar goal. Shot from one side, rebounds out to the other, and they're able to just kind of tap it in. And Schwartz is trying to disrupt that shot, but all he had to do was just put his stick on the ice and shove it in. And Grubauer doesn't know where the puck is, so he doesn't even not trying to get back. Three shots on goal, so Nashville already doubled the shots on goal this period that they had all of last period, and they got both of those at 5-on-5. We're gonna have a penalty called here against Gord, it looks like. So Nashville will have a chance to tie it up on the power play. Gord for hooking. They're calling Gord for hooking, so this is already a pretty not great start to the second period. This is why we said it's certainly not over. Basically, I'm hoping for the Leafs to go at least to the second round. Either way, like I feel I feel worse for Buffalo fans with their team never making the playoffs, but I can understand I understand where Leafs fans are at with the constant disappointment of a team. Um, Having been a Mariners fan, so like part of me is like, yeah, understanding that it would be I want them to get it passed around, but on the other hand, I also it's like they forgot they were on the power play. They just let him stand there with the puck for a bit. But it also would be kind of like if they lose again, it would be kind of funny. it, it just keeps being funny, especially if it happens in 7 games. Yeah, that was a very similar goal to the one Nashville scored on first last game. I guess their only goal last game because we're not. I mean the shootout. Oh, is Beniers gonna get to it first? Out in front, McCann. Oh, Saros makes the save shorthanded. Nice pass from Beniers though for the shorthanded chance on McCann. It was just a little too in tight. Little too in tight on Saros there to really get a good chance to score, but nice pass from Beniers shorthanded there. And a good hustle to get to it first. Kraken will kill off the rest of this here. Dumping it out with 15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining as Nashville gets back in the neutral zone, so they'll get maybe one more shot on goal before the fifth guy's out on ice. But Borgen will dump it. Doesn't quite get out. One shot on the power play for the Preds. Oh, that took a weird bounce off the boards and Saros fell, but no one was there to get the puck and put it in the empty net. Kraken out to get it. Here we go. Oh, Gord lost the puck. Oh, he was going to have an open shot. Grubauer slamming it off the glass to get it back out. It's Tanev with the puck across the center circle. Donato in up and around to Tanev. Tanev still circling. He'll get it back out to Borgen. Borgen to Sprong shot. Goes wide. Looks like Seattle will go off on a change. Donato with the block. Donato's going to get a chance here. Nope, he's going to pull up across. Oh, what a save. Oh, Sprong got robbed. What a pass from Donato and an incredible save from Saros. What a pass. Oh, yeah, Saros just read that incredibly. Saros was like almost, by the time Donato was passing that, Saros was already over to be in position for the Sprong shot. Saros just expecting Donato was going to pass that. Shot from Larson, goes maybe blocked and maybe a save from Saros. Out in front. Oh, too hard for Dunn to handle. Nice play, Beniers. Gets out at least. Nashville all the way back in their end, getting backed all the way back. They'll finally get back in, dumped along the boards. McCann and Sissons, I think, down there. Round to the other side, that's Lausanne with it. Number 3 for Nashville. The ex-Kraken. The Preds are holding the zone until now it's McCann on a end of a long shift. Circling the net. He'll try to get out in front. No one's there. Kraken do get to it. Borgen. Shot from a tight angle is off a stick and out of play, so we'll get a face-off in the offensive end. 13:37 left in the second here. That guy with $200 on the line clinching right now. Yeah, it's definitely tightened up. 1-goal game. So if Vegas plays Boston or Washington, who would you cheer for in the Cup final? If it was Washington, I would cheer probably for Washington. I don't really hate the Capitals. I just wish they would rebrand. Boston, oh gosh, if it was Boston and Vegas, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd cheer for a meteorite. Cheer for the lockout to start early and just not do a cup final, maybe. Call it a tie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could cheer for either team. I think in the end, I would probably end up cheering against Boston more, even though I dislike Vegas more. I just don't want to see Brad Marchand win another Stanley Cup. Well, yeah, this game is tightened up a bit. I think they've got 4 shots on goal now, so they're definitely getting their shots on goal here and there. It's not a repeat of the first period, that's for sure. And by Nashville has 4 shots on goal. The Kraken have also been getting their shots. A little bit better of a start to the second period here for Oh, shot! Oh, that just squirted right out to Schwartz. Unfortunately, he was on his backhand, so he couldn't get a particularly good shot off there. Yeah, the shot is definitely the right call there. Yeah, so it's Froden that's out, and Geeky's in Froden's normal spot. And I say normal spot. Geeky's in the spot Froden was in the last game. Oh, spinning shot from Duchesne, saved by Grubauer. That'll be the 5th shot on goal for the Predators. Lazan, hounded by Susie. Susie up to Wemberg. Shoot it, Wemberg. He does shoot it, and it's saved by Saros. And he wanted to pass that so bad. But he didn't have a pass, so he does eventually shoot. Whoop. Nice little move there by Susie. And Wemberg, yeah, he wanted to pass that to Geeky pretty bad, but gets the shot off on goal. Save made by Saros. Shots are 19-5 in favor of the Kraken. On the scoreboard, it's 2-1, also in favor of the Kraken. And around, they'll get it up. Borgen with the puck. Borgen across to Alexiak. Alexiak back to Borgen. Borgen's going to fire a shot off of people in front. I don't know if that was saved by Saros or went off of someone in front, but it's not in the net. Bjorkstrand will get it across to Gord. Gord tries to get it back to Bjorkstrand, but it's intercepted on the way. Tolvanen now with the puck as he stops the breakout attempt. And Grubauer with another save as they get Nashville gets a rush chance there, and their 6th shot on goal. So there's shots on goal for the Predators starting to count up here. We're 12 minutes left in the second period. Oh, nice tip from Gore. That almost tipped it through the 5-hole. All right, here we go. That was blocked in front. Nashville, so Duchesne with it up by the blue line. He'll work it into the board. Nice play by McCann. Oh, just couldn't quite get back to it. Across, blocked in front by Larson off the shin. Kraken will now get it out. Nice pass up to Beniers. Beniers, 2 guys on him in the corner. Beniers goes down, no call. Correctly. Oh, done shot. Rebounds out wide. Oh, and here we go. Breakout. Stopped by Grubauer. Nice save. That was a breakaway chance for the Preds there. Beniers off the puck. Sprong tries to... he gets it back in, so on the forecheck, it'll be Tanev getting to it. And the Preds will break it back out. Dump it into the corner. Shot, save Grubauer. Lauzon with it, down behind the Kraken net. Checked hard. Broken up. Nice break up there. I think that was Sprong. Shot, another save by Grubauer. I think it's safe to say the record for shots on goal probably isn't going to be happening in this game now. 7 shots in the period already for the Predators, so yeah, the first period did not continue into the second shots on goal wise defensively. Grubauer at that last second leg kick out makes the save. Any news on Burakovsky's health or return? Lauzon and one of the officials got tangled up in front of Tanev. Oh, nice breakup. Gets it out of the zone at least. Lauzon gets to it first. Woo! Borgen in front of the net a little. Oh! The skates, but picked up by Geeky. A shot, save, easy save for Saros. And Borgen can't handle that pass at the blue line, so the Kraken will regroup in their end. As far as Burakovsky, Geeky with the puck now into the offensive end. No further. Burakovsky was skating with the team. Shot by Geeky. Saved. Shot. Geeky saved again. Oh! And there's a penalty against Nashville. Kraken to the power play. Great press there. Geeky with the shot rebounded out to Schwartz, I think it was. Got it back up to Geeky for a second shot in the slot. That was also saved, but it looks like a penalty coming up against the Predators, so the Kraken to the power play with 9:39 left in the second. Anyway, Burakovsky, mentioned this earlier, but obviously for anyone that's joined since then, no, there's been nothing new on Burakovsky. He was skating with the team towards the end of the last road trip or maybe beginning of the homestand, but he hasn't been skating in practice of late, so yeah, and haven't heard anything about any setbacks or anything like that, or maybe he just didn't feel like he was quite ready when he did get those skates in. But looking like for a while it was looking, I mean, when he was skating, usually that's a good sign that he'll be back soon, but now that he's not anymore, it's probably back to being, I would say, week to week at this point again. So probably another week or two before we see Burakovsky back. Again, hockey, for whatever reason, tends to be the most tight-lipped when it comes to injuries, so it pretty much the only way you know anything is they'll say, oh, guys, day-to-day or week-to-week with a lower or upper body injury, and then the only real hint you get that they're coming back is when they start skating and practicing with the team. And then if they get, especially if they're doing it in a non-contact jersey and then a full contact jersey, that's the hints you get. And with him not skating, I would say it's week to week, probably still, at least a week or two out for Burakovsky. What would be my reaction if the NHL expands to Atlanta again? I mean, good for Atlanta. I feel like the city of Atlanta, has kind of just gotten shafted by terrible ownership groups both of the times. I don't think that they really got a fair chance in either of the two times there. But by expansion, I don't know. 32 is such a perfect number. I just don't want them to go past 32. So if, I wouldn't be against Atlanta getting another team, but I don't really want the NHL to expand past 32, at least not for a good long while. I think they have plenty of other things they need to be focused on anyway, other than trying to make money off of just expanding constantly. This is, once again, not a particularly well-organized power play for the first 30 seconds for the Kraken. Now down to 9 minutes left in the second period. They're going to try to get in. They do get into the offensive end. Are they able to get set up, though? It's looking like no is going to be the answer to that, but maybe. Oh, maybe. Bjork's trying to done shot out in front. Save was made. Wemberg's able to get it out. Good work from McCann to keep that. Tolvanen up to Dunn. Dunn back to Tolvanen. Tolvanen circles. He's going to get it back up to Dunn. Dunn over to McCann. McCann from his spot. Shot is blocked. This is a better looking sequence from the power play. 37 seconds left. Tolvanen now has it along the boards. He's bothered by a couple Predators, and they're going to able to get it out. With 30 seconds left on the power play, Dunn will collect it, and I would imagine we'll get a second unit out here for maybe 20 seconds. So here's Eberle with the puck coming through the neutral zone. He's got Beniers on one side, Schwartz on the other. Dumps it to Beniers. Beniers back to Eberle. Around behind the net to Sprong on the far side. Sprong up to Schultz. Schultz down to Eberle. Eberle back up to Schultz. Schultz to Sprong. One-timer. Blocked in front. Power play is over. And that power play comes to an end. They might have gotten a couple shots on goal, but nothing terribly dangerous. Good kill from the Predators. Beniers has the puck in the Kraken end. He'll get it up to Soucy. Soucy will dump it in, and the Kraken will get back to their normal 5-on-5 rotation. Fourth line out there, Tanev with Dunn and Sprong, or Donato and Sprong, and Grubauer will get a freeze. 7 minutes left, or just under 7 minutes left. We'll get a face-off in the defensive end for the Kraken. Yeah, that wasn't really on goal, but they got some chances, and they got a good rotation going there for about a minute of that power play. Just took him a little while to get going, and yep. Donato will bank it up to Tanev with the puck. Yeah, Nashville still without Roman Josi for both of these games, which has been, I suppose, good for the Kraken. Just tuning in, do Preds look like they have life in this game, or are we leaning heavy towards the Kraken? First period was pretty heavy towards the Kraken. The first period, the Kraken outshot the Predators 13-1 and scored twice. So by the end of one, they had more goals than the Predators had shots. But this second period has been a lot more even. Still leaning towards the Kraken, I think. But the Predators do have the lone goal off of a rebound that looked very similar to the goal that the Nashville scored in the last game. Beniers out in front. Goes through bodies and out to the other side. Out to Larson. Larson's going to get a shot off here. Tipped. Still loose. Beniers whacking at it. And the Predators are going to get it out. No icing. Larson takes a big hit as he gets to that puck. No icing the other way. Yeah, I think Larson knew he was going to take that hit. Here we go. Tolvanen with the puck now. He's going to look for a guy entering the zone. Doesn't find one, so he'll rim it around behind. It is Gord that gets to it first. Gord's taken down, but stays with it. He's going to get it up. Blocked in front. Tolvanen keeps it in, but it is eventually knocked out. Susi gets to it first. Kraken will regroup, get a change on the forward end. Maybe not. Thought they would, but at least Tolvanen and Gord are still out there. Bjorkstrand as well. Out in front, Bjorkstrand. Right up top. Shot goes wide. Tolvanen flashing in front wasn't able to get a stick on the ice. Nashville will dump it in and go for a change. They've been kind of hemmed in their end for a bit. Kraken now get their change. Second line out there. Susi on side. Gord still out there. Fires off a shot. Saved and then pushed aside by Saros. No, it's still the Gord line out there. Now it looks like Bjorkstrand has gone off for a change. Long shift for this line. And that one's chipped out, so we'll get changes on both sides now with 4:45 left in the second. A lot of neutral zone play. Kraken trying to get set up in the offensive end. A couple of chances, but Saros is up to the task. Yes, second period. Sorry. I forgot to change the period. See, I'm not a morning person, so we try to do this morning stream, you know, it just... Oh, Sorry if the stream cut out there for a bit. I opened Photoshop to change it to the second period because, as I was saying, I am not much of a morning person, so we're doing the stream in the morning and forgot to give the Kraken their first goal and forgot to change it to the second period until 5 minutes left. Oh well. You move on. There we go. Now it's the second period. Yeah, whenever I open Photoshop for the first time in a day, it just bricks the computer for like 30 seconds. So I'll probably cut the stream for a second, but yes, second period. Thank you, Michael, for catching that. It's not morning anymore. Yes, it is. It is afternoon technically now, but the game started still in the morning. It may have been 11 o'clock. Still the morning. Certainly morning as far as a hockey schedule is concerned. Great stream. Gain to subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you. Stream didn't cut out too much. That's good. So Kraken regrouping here. Commercial break. Looks like the fourth line's coming off. Fourth line once again got the Kraken on the board first in this game. It was Donato with the shot that was saved right in front as he was trying to just, in the crease, shove it through the 5-hole of Saros. Saros made the save, but it bounced out just a little bit to Sprong, and Sprong chipped it in over the pad. And then the second one came for Eli Tolvanen on the power play. So Eli Tolvanen scoring against his old team. Four and a half minutes left here as Nashville gets into the Kraken end of the ice. Rims it around the other side. Evangelista with the puck. Who the Kraken broadcast spent... That's offside, yep. Kraken broadcast spent some time talking about how Evangelista's aunt was a Vogue model, apparently. That was our fun tidbit from the last game's broadcast. Lots of Kraken fans in the building, it looks like. Certainly enough for the camera to find, at least. I mean, you know, if you're going to go on a road trip to watch the team, going on the road trip where they play in the same city twice in 3 days is probably a pretty cost-effective way to do it. Here we go. 2-on-1. Sprong. McCann. And that was done. Sorry, not Sprong. I saw 9 and got excited. But save is made by Saros on the McCann shot on the 2-on-1. Done up to McCann again. McCann's going to up front for Beniers. Save made again by Saros, or maybe it bounced wide. The Preds do get into the Kraken end clean this time. Save made by Grubauer. He's able to get to the freeze. Kraken had held Nashville without a shot on goal for a little bit there. Now up to 9 shots on goal for the Predators. It bounced out a little bit farther from Grubauer than I think he would have liked, but he managed to dive onto it and get the freeze. So face off here between Gord and Sissons. One eventually for the Predators. Shot goes wide. Ooh, through the crease the other side. Kraken defensively on the spot that time, though. Alexiak lost his stick. Alexiak does get his stick back while fighting for the puck along the boards. Oh, boy. Tolvanen. Bjorkstrand, breakaway. No. Oh! Tolvanen! Bjorkstrand was, the puck bounced out. Bjorkstrand was the only one there. Saros came way out of the crease to get to the puck. Saros is at the top of the face-off circles in the slot when he gets to that puck in front of Bjorkstrand and tries to just fire it out of the zone, but Tolvanen hits it before the blue line and then just puts it into the empty net. Nice. Oh. Yeah, and he's onside when he stops that too. Tolvanen on the blue line catches that puck midair, gets it down to his stick, and just puts it in the empty net. That's 2 for Tolvanen. Can we see a Tolvanen hat trick in Nashville? Let's go. And for Saros, that's dang it. Grubauer makes the save there and freezes it. Little hack and whack in front of the net, but that will be the 10th shot on goal for the Preds. They do get to double digits. Big goal there from Tolvanen, though. Yeah, that'll be if anybody watches Steve's Dang It's from the Sportsnet YouTube channel on Thursdays. Got a few days to wait, but come Thursday, you guarantee you'll see that one on Steve's Dang It's. Face-off lost in the defensive end for the Kraken. I guess 1 for the Predators. Blocked in front for the Kraken as Gord tries to get it out of the offensive end. Defensive end. He cannot. Nice play. 2-on-1. Sprong with the puck. Shoot it. Oh, that's Wemberg. Sorry. Oh. I saw 1 and again. I just think everybody's Daniel Sprong apparently, but it was Wemberg and Wemberg did go for the pass, almost made a very nice pass and got the tip in on the other side, but gets defended nicely in the end. 11 shots on goal for the Predators now, so they're probably going to be safe to not hand the Kraken a new franchise record for low shots on goal in a game. Weird bounce off the boards, but Grubauer will get another freeze. Probably not a shot on goal there. That was a nice, Novak there with a nice play. Got around a couple of Kraken defenders. Oh, nice pass from Wemberg. Saros just pushed it aside before it could get to Schwartz. Little too tight in there for that pass from Wemberg, but he did get a pretty nice pass across, just a little too close to Saros, who's able to break it up. Without coming out of the crease this time, importantly. Bjorkstrand will gets it out of the offensive end, but can't keep control. So Nashville with it in the neutral zone as they, in the hands of Duchesne, do eventually get back in. Duchesne's pass broken up by Gord. Gord up to Tolvanen. Tolvanen will dump it in for Bjorkstrand to go get in the corner. Bjorkstrand will go up along the boards trying to get it to Larson. It doesn't get there. Predators try to get it out. They do, but Tolvanen turns around and the puck's there, so he gets to it. Nice reverse hit in the open ice there from Tolvanen. It's still just kind of hack and whack time as we work our way across the ice. There's some guys laying down on the ice by the boards over there, but no calls are made. Donato done with the puck. Shot there from Eberle is turned out. Save by Saros, and Borgen, a nice defensive play there. Look out. Shot from Lauzon, a pretty good look there from Lauzon, but goes wide. McCann, is a good pass attempt from McCann, but it goes to an open. Another good look for Lauzon. I think Grubauer got a piece of that, and that will bring the period to an end. We'll see if that's the 12th shot on goal, but a couple good looks for Lauzon there right at the end. Grubauer, one goes wide, and Grubauer might have gotten a save on the second one. Hard to say for sure, but both teams score once in the second period, and it is 3-1 here at the end of 2. And this time, I'm going to just go ahead and change it to the third right now. And it shouldn't cost... Photoshop's already warmed up for the day, so we shouldn't have any cutouts of the stream. Here we go. All right, headed to the third. Kraken up 3-1. Yes, finally I caught one of these. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I tried to get one on the weekend. I realized the last couple have been during the week, and the last one was started during the workday for a lot of people here on the West Coast. So try to get one during the weekend here. It is a weekend. It started in the morning on the West Coast. Maybe late morning, but it started in the morning. Now in the afternoon. By the time this third period gets started, we'll also be getting the start of the LA-Winnipeg game that Kraken fans will definitely be watching. I would say that, again, it's still not, mathematically, we're still a few games away from mathematical clinching of the playoffs, but if the Kraken win this game and LA beats the Jets, I think we can say with pretty much 100% certainty the Kraken will be in the playoffs. As those are the two teams, both of those teams would have to pass the Kraken, or I guess a miracle run by the Flames. But the Flames are basically out of it at this point, and they play San Jose. So the Kraken are cheering for San Jose in that one. Kraken fans cheering for the Sharks to beat the Flames, not just because it would really pretty much just kick the last little bit of hope the Flames had out of the way, but also because it would take San Jose a little bit farther away from that Bedard chance. And considering two of the three most likely teams to get Bedard right now are Pacific Division teams, we are just hoping that the Blue Jackets can lose the rest of their games and take those best odds. But yes, let's look at the standings right now, huh? Okay, so I guess the Blackhawks are more likely than the Ducks. We've got 72 games played, San Jose with 53 points, 71 games played, Blue Jackets with 53 points. 51 games played also for Chicago, 54 points, and Anaheim with 56 and 72 games played. So those are kind of the four teams. I don't think Montreal would be the next one, but they're 6 points clear of the Ducks. So it's those four teams are pretty much the ones that have a chance at getting the best odds of that first overall pick, and those are probably your bottom four teams by the end of the season. Unfortunately, two of them are in the Pacific Division, and three of them are in the Western Conference, but what can you do? We're, as far as when the draft lottery rolls around, Seattle, Edmonton, LA, Vegas, Calgary, Vancouver fans are maybe not Vancouver because they'll still be in the lottery, but at least 5 teams in the Pacific, their fan bases are all going to be cheering for the Blue Jackets 100%. Well, okay, there's some Kraken fans who are ex-Sharks fans, and that's still recent enough where maybe they're hoping the Sharks can get Bedard, but for the most part, we're hoping that Bedard can go to Columbus. You know, Tolvanen with 2 goals already in this game. Kraken lead 3-1 at the end of 2. Shots on goal. Let's see if that last one counted as a shot on goal. It did. So 12 shots on Kraken leading shots on goal 29-12. Grubauer has stopped 11 of 12. And Saros has stopped 26 of 29. So Tolvanen with 2 goals, and that second one from Tolvanen is one that Saros, I think, would like back. Comes way out of the net to play the puck before Bjorkstrand can get to it and get the breakaway chance. And he tries to clear it, but right on the blue line, it hits Tolvanen in the gut, falls to his stick, and he has an empty net to shoot at, and it doesn't miss. Got an itch on my shoulder. Take care of that. So good start here. Good first couple periods for the Kraken. And again, now you're going into the third. It's still definitely not over, but you're going into the third period up 2 against a team who since the trade deadline has averaged 2 goals scored per game. So to already have more than 2 goals, and now they would have to meet their game average in one period just to send it to overtime. It's looking good. Still definitely not over. Definitely not over. I'm not going to say that, but looking good. And that's still not necessary. I mean, like, the net's empty, but Tolvanen does hit a bouncing, rolling puck there into the empty net from still pretty far out. So that's still not an easy play. I mean, it probably is for an NHLer and certainly one that scores goals like Tolvanen does, but that's... Let's just say that I think most people outside the NHL and maybe AHL level would have trouble getting a clean shot on that one. Maybe Major Junior as well. We can give them credit, but I can almost guarantee I would have missed it if it's bouncing like that. Now, if it was just sitting on the ice, nice and flat, I think I have a good chance at hitting it. Still not a guarantee from that far out, but that's okay. You know, we should probably just wave Tolvanen, quote. Lol. Yeah, Tolvanen almost scored the second goal early on in the first period in the game on Thursday. He had a tip on a gourd pass on the far side that almost went in. And it was just like, oh, you want to see Tolvanen score against his old team. But he's getting that revenge game in here with 2 goals already. Got a power play goal, and then basically an empty netter as Saros came way out and put it right into Tolvanen's gut on the blue line. What's the Kraken record for games I've streamed? How many games have I streamed this season? They've only lost 1, and it was in the shootout. They lost 1 in the shootout. Otherwise, they've won everything. So is that 4? How many have we done this season? Let me see how many we've done this season. Live. Where are you at with streams? So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've done 5 streams. This is the 6th. So the Kraken are 4-0-1 in games I've streamed this season. Pretty good record. That includes, by the way, both Toronto and Boston. So I wasn't just taking it easy. In fact, let's look at the games that we streamed this season. We had against the Panthers, which that was early on in the season, or I guess that was still December, I think. So we knew the Kraken were a pretty decent team then, but Florida we thought was better than that they've turned out to be. They have a bit of a disappointing season. but still it wasn't like a gimme game. Then Toronto and Boston on the road, both of those games. I mean, these are all on the road because I don't stream home games, but I'm at the games. And then I will admit so then it was Winnipeg, which that was the one the Kraken lost in shootout. And then I will admit the last game was a bit of a give me. That we streamed the game in Columbus on the last road trip, or maybe 2 road trips ago. And now this one again, not a gimme. Definitely a team you'd like to see the Kraken beat, but not a gimme. Who would you like to see in the first round? I kind of mentioned this towards the beginning. So right now, the most likely scenario for the Kraken is that they get the first wild card spot and probably end up playing the winner of the Central Division. Get that right. And I think that's probably the best spot for the Kraken right now. All 3 teams, the Oilers, Golden Knights, and Kings, that are ahead of the Kraken in the Pacific are playing very hot right now. So the only of those teams that I could see the Kraken catching would be the Oilers to get back up there, and then you're probably playing the Kings in the first round. And yeah, I mean, the Kraken have beat the Kings all 3 times they've played them so far this season, but the big issue the Kings had for the most part this season was goaltending, and as much as it looked like it could backfire with getting rid of Quick and doing it kind of unexpectedly, it wasn't popular in the locker room, it wasn't popular in the fan base. Say what you will about how popular of a move it was, it seems like it's worked for them. Their goaltending has been better, and they have been on a roll since the trade deadline. Now we'll see how that game goes against LA coming up here in 2 games. The Kraken get Minnesota on Monday and then LA at home on Thursday of next week, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see how that game goes, but LA I think would be a tough matchup for the Kraken. So long story short, I honestly think where they're at right now as being the first wild card is probably the best spot of the ones that they're likely to end up in, because they get the winner of the Central. Now, that being said, I'd rather have the Kings than the Avalanche, and if the Avalanche do end up winning the Central, then that would be bad. So I think, if you want to see a little bit more control and the Kraken have a better idea of what's going on, you probably want them to repass Edmonton and take that 3rd spot and just play the Kings in the first round, and at least you know what you're up against. The other options, so other than, as far as if they do end up in this first wildcard spot facing the winner of the Central, as far as teams that could be, it's a 3-horse race there. It's Dallas, Colorado, and Minnesota, who actually leads at the moment. The Kraken will play the Wild here on Monday, so we'll find out on Monday what that matchup looks like. Dallas we saw for 3 games. That would be a very tight series. 2 of those games going to overtime. Dallas getting the better of the 3rd one. But that would be a fun matchup. I think Dallas would be. Winnipeg, I will say, from just like the perspective of the history of teams in the playoffs, Winnipeg would be, or not Winnipeg, Minnesota would be a good matchup, because Minnesota has a tough time getting out of the first round of the playoffs, so that would benefit the Kraken just from a historic standpoint. But Colorado, I think, is probably the team you want to face the least out of those. The other option, of course, would be the Kraken fall to the 2nd wild card, in which case they're probably facing Vegas. And that's been, again, a pretty even series between the 2 teams. Vegas is dealing with a fair amount of injuries, but again, even through all those injuries, they've been hot lately. And that's, the Kraken will get, it could be, if it does turn out to be Vegas, that it'll be an interesting one, because the Kraken finished the season with 2 games against Vegas. So you'd basically then get the regular season ending with 2 games against that team, and then immediately playing them for up to 7 games in the playoffs. So that could become a pretty heated series if that one ends up happening. As far as what's most likely, it's so like, again, I think the Central is such a toss up. It's hard. I think it's most likely the Kraken end up playing a team from the Central, the winner of the Central, and boy, it's hard to say who that's going to be. I haven't really looked at the remaining schedules of those teams. I'm gonna go look at the standings real quick here to see where those three teams are at. I guess Dallas retook the lead. So Dallas is in the lead of the Central at the moment with 92 points in 72 games. Minnesota has 91 points in 72 games, and Colorado has 90 in 71. So yeah, it's a complete toss-up between the three. Colorado is the hottest of the three teams, so honestly, at this point, I would probably bet on Colorado winning that division. So in that scenario, yeah, you're probably hoping to catch Edmonton, which the Kraken, if they win this game, they'll be 2 points behind Edmonton. Now Edmonton plays later on today. Edmonton has played one more game than the Kraken. They're 4 points ahead with one more game played. So the Kraken could close to within 2 with Edmonton playing later today against Vegas. So it's still very possible that the Kraken catch Edmonton and move up to play LA in the first round. Of course, it's not out of the question that LA could pass Vegas to win the division. Vegas has 96 points in 72 games, LA with 92 points in 71. So, I mean, that's up to the two of them. LA's 4 points behind, but with a game in hand. So there's a couple of ways Seattle could end up playing Vegas. Yeah, I don't know who I'd want to play. It's going to be a tough first round unless... it's going to be a tough... Obviously, any team that makes the playoffs is usually pretty good. The absolute best case scenario, and there is a much less than 1% chance of this happening, would be the Kraken basically win out and get help to win the Pacific and also get help to win the West. They get first seed and then face whichever one of Winnipeg or Nashville stumble their way into the playoffs. In which case, then I like the Kraken chances against either one of those teams the way they're finishing the season. I mean, Nashville's finishing the season better, but they're just not as good a team as Winnipeg is talent-wise. And then Winnipeg is... I mean, they're playing like they want Bedard, even though they're in a playoff spot, which is weird because they have no chance at Bedard. Even if they lost out, they're not going to be in the bottom 10, bottom 11 with a chance. Ottinger is my favorite goalie in the league. Guy is the best. Yeah, I like Ottinger. And he's very good as well. So, like, Dallas would be a tough matchup in the playoffs for anybody because they're, all it takes is Ottinger getting on a roll, and then that's going to be a hard team to beat, especially because they can score goals now. That's kind of always been like, even when they made that run to the finals in the bubble to play the Lightning, that was largely on goaltending and defense. Like, they have a bit of a reputation of being a team that just doesn't score a ton, but prevents other teams from scoring a ton. And now this year they've been scoring a fair amount, and also Ottinger has been playing mostly pretty well. So I look like Tom Holland. Do I? He doesn't have red hair, but I'll take it. He's a decent looking dude, I suppose. I'll take it. Minnesota's undisciplined, true, but they have a lot of talent. So I mean, they've actually been pretty hot of late as well. What is their? Are they like 8-0 and they're 8-2? Oh no, that's what. Okay, they're 6-1-3. But they've been getting points in just about every one of their games. So we're getting ready to start the third period here. Players are out on the ice, and Grubauer is in net. Not that was just ready to go. Not that it was a question that Grubauer was going to be in net. Just everyone's where they should be, and we're ready to go for puck drop. I hope Vegas gets revenge on Dallas. It's always Vegas versus the refs. Yeah, Vegas and I don't think Vegas and Dallas are gonna face in the playoffs, unfortunately, for that hope. The only way that happens, I think, is the Western Conference Final, which I don't know how likely it is that Dallas makes it there. Vegas again, definitely could. I could even see them being a favorite to get there, especially if they win the Pacific, which they probably will. Seattle dumps it in, and Nashville dumps it out. Vince done, and that's offside, so we'll get a face-off just outside the Kraken end. Yeah, I think you're looking at Vegas against either Nashville or Winnipeg. Seattle against whoever wins the Central, and the other two teams playing each other. Beniers line out there for the Kraken as they are trying to get the breakout going. Across to McCann. McCann has it. McCann will shoot off a stick and out of play. So they will go off on a change. Yeah, McCann's definitely been a lot of shot attempts from McCann at the very least. A number of them have been blocked or deflected away, but lots of shot attempts from McCann. He's firing that puck. Not helping his pretty much 20% shooting percentage. I'll say that much. Whoop, turnover in the neutral zone. Oh, they scored. That's just a thrown at the net and then just a perfect tip off of Duchesne. Crap. Yeah, you might. Yeah, Grubauer's got to be tighter to the post there. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's nothing he can do about the tip, but he's got to have that post sealed off. That one's on Grubauer, unfortunately. All right, 19 minutes left. It's a one-goal game again. Schwartz with the puck. He's being bothered, and Nashville has it. They'll break it out. No, Cody Glass down for the Predators. Oh, he goes into the back of Geeky and just turned his knee weird. I don't know if he turned his knee weird or if he just got the wind knocked out of him because it's kind of Geeky kind of reverse hits him. So he either got the wind knocked out of him or he's got a knee. Oh yeah, he's getting off a bit gingerly. I think it might have gotten a knee or something or and he is headed to the locker room. So they'll be down Cody Glass, one of the guys on their first line. I think he's playing on the first line right now. He was in the last game. That was the first ever draft pick by the Vegas Golden Knights, by the way. Cody Glass. Did not play very much with Vegas, but done pretty well in Nashville. Tolvin in. Back up to Dunn. Dunn sends it back around. Bjorkstrand will get to it on the far side. Bjorkstrand down to Gord behind the net. Gord gets to it. Cycling. Shot from Tolvanen is a bit late and blocked in front. And Nashville will get the breakout. Ooh. And Nashville will get the change. So will Seattle, as Dunn has the puck behind the Kraken net, or I guess next to it now. Now in front. Gets it up to Susie as Dunn will go off for the change. And Nashville has it through the neutral zone. They dump it in. So they must have taken a shot on goal away from Nashville in the intermission because they are now to 12 with the one that scored. And it's offside, so we'll get a face-off outside the Nashville end. I put money on the Kraken. Are they going to win? I mean, I would say it's still looking good for them, but the 1-goal lead, nothing's for sure. It's too tight to tell. Yeah, that's kind of what I would say right now. Again, the Kraken have outplayed the Predators pretty much all game, but Nashville got a fortunate rebound early in the second to get one, and they got a fortunate bounce and Grubauer not sealing the post to get a second one here early in the third. Dump out past, looks like that was Eberle. No, they're going for the puck. That's not tripping. Down in the corner behind the Kraken net, it's Beniers with it as he comes away from the pile. Hounded from behind. Guy hounding him slipped and fell. Beniers with it into the offensive end. Beniers, across to Eberle, who was just not keeping with the play there. McCann has it. McCann up to the point. Larson across to Dunn. Dunn is holding it. Dumps it down to Beniers. Beniers is going to get it back to Dunn. Dunn's going to McCann. Front. Scores! McCann to Larson. Let's go. Beniers will not get there's no third assists handed out, but Beniers will not quite get a point there, but that's all right. Larson will put it in. It's 4-2 Kraken. Beniers, a nice play. Two guys go to Beniers up in the corner. He gets it to Dunn. Dunn finds McCann. McCann's wide open as the defense is just completely out of sorts for the Predators. Gets that pass across and right through the armpit, and then Larson finds the top corner. 4-2. Adam Larson with his 7th, I believe, of the season. And McCann definitely deserved to at least get on the score sheet this game, so he does there. He might have on the power play goal from Tolvanen, I'm not sure. Oh no, he definitely did. He had the primary assist on that one as well. Kraken pressing for more. Schwartz had the rebound opportunity, but kind of doesn't get on goal. The play is happening under the scorecard in the top corner of it. A little weird thing going on there. Borgen up to Wennberg. Wennberg down to Alexiak. Alexiak back to Wennberg. Wennberg down around behind the net to Geekie. Gets past Geekie up to, I think that was Borgen, but the Preds have the puck and they'll dump it out as they go off for a change. The Kraken will come back in. Tanev on a rush. Shot. Goes high off of a stick. Out to the other side. Sissons will get it out. Maybe that wasn't Sissons. I don't know who that was. No, it wasn't Sissons. It's whoever number 70 is. I don't know Nashville's lineup that well. Shoot in on Saros. He has no problem deflecting that wide. Kraken keep it in for a bit, but Nashville will get it back and start their breakout. Through the neutral zone, on and off the stick there on the far side. Down behind the net where Donato picks it up. Donato holding onto it for a bit, rims it around along the boards. Nashville gets to it first in Cal Foot, but now back in the corner, fought for. Foot gets it. Foot across to whoever his partner is. Grubauer makes the save. And it'll be dumped out by the Kraken and Tanev as they'll go off on a change, I'm sure. Yep, there goes Donato finishing that change. Gord line back out there with Tolvanen and Bjorkstrand, obviously. Bjorkstrand will get it up to just out of the reach of Gord as Nashville gets back control in the neutral zone. They come into the offensive end. Duchesne tried to get the puck around Dunn. He's able to get the puck around him, but couldn't get himself around him as well. Oh, turnover. Duchesne, shot. Blocked in front. Wemberg. Oh, nice play. Oh, that's Bjorkstrand. Sorry. Nice play, Bjorkstrand. Oh, and then he loses the puck. Is that onside? I guess they're going to say that's onside, but it doesn't matter now because it's back out into the neutral zone where Gord has it. All the way back into the Kraken end. Alexiak with the puck now. He'll go behind the net to the other side where I'm sure that's Borgen. It is. Borgen puts it back behind the net where Alexiak gets to it. McCann across back to Borgen. Now through the neutral zone. Borgen dumps it in along the boards. Nashville to it first. Back along the boards. Picked off. Out in front. Beniers in his feet. Couldn't get to it. Eberle with it behind the net. Fighting for it. Fighting for it. Has it. To, oh, Beniers is hit in the face. No call. Beniers is slowly getting to the bench. And he is not happy there was no call there. And I would have to agree with him. I don't know if he was bleeding, but that could easily have been a double minor. Plays whistle dead. Did the ref go to the bench to check out Beniers and find out he was bleeding? I don't know why they whistled it dead. But the Kraken have the 4-2 lead. Nashville, well, yeah, the Kraken just have been big response there from that Nashville goal. Not only to get the goal, but they've just holding that offensive end and getting a number of chances there even after the Kraken scored to make it 4-2. Now I would say it's looking pretty good. The Kraken are going to win. Still definitely not over. Still definitely not over. That's not what I'm saying, but it's looking good. Where was this Thursday? Honestly, the Kraken were playing like this Thursday. Just Saros was absolutely standing on his head. The power play, I will say the power play on Thursday was... I mean, we've seen the same power play we saw on Thursday in this game as well, but the Kraken did have the 1 minute of pretty good power... Actually, a couple of minutes of pretty good power play in different power plays, scoring on one and getting a good press in another, so... A slight step up on the power play. Certainly, at least the goal makes it better, but they didn't get that help in the game on Thursday. Other than that, they're playing pretty similar to how they played on Thursday. Nashville's maybe a little bit more, I mean, certainly on that last goal there by Larson, Nashville's a little bit more out of sorts defensively than we saw them on Thursday. And yeah, Saros is, I mean, the game Saros played on Thursday is, you know, that's just, a goaltender like him is going to have those games where they just don't allow anything. I mean, heck, the one goal Saros allowed went off of his back from behind the net, so, you know. That'll be Dunn and McCann on the assists on the Larson goal. As if that wasn't already obvious. So... Whatever the whistle was for, it was not because they were realizing they missed a call on Beniers getting high-sticked, but 5-on-5, the Kraken won the face-off. Geekie now on a rush chance. Shot saved by Saros, no rebound. So we'll get a face-off in the Nashville end with 12:23 left. Geekie in that second line. Geekie on the second line, by the way, with centered by Wemberg and Schwartz on the other side. So Geekie's on the wing in this game, taking the spot where Froden was. After Froden kind of had his first, I would say, below average game in the last one. Cost him his spot in the lineup at least for one game. Which, I mean, that's kind of where the Kraken are at. Once again, they've got, like... They've got three guys that they're rotating in and out of the lineup, all of whom kind of deserve to be in the lineup with actually even four guys. If you have Geekie, Froden, Donato, and Sprong. All four of them, I think, would be in most NHL lineups without too much of a question about it. Here we go, 2-on-1. Beniers has it. Beniers drops. Done. Beniers scores! Beniers, his 20th of the season. Let's go! 5-2 Kraken. Beniers, his 20th of the season. And this one is not going to get changed. He had his 20th. We thought it was his 20th at home like a week ago. It ended up getting tipped in front by Schwartz. This one is all Beniers. It does get, I think it goes off of Cal Foot in front. Yeah, it goes, I think Cal Foot slid in front of it, and I think it went off of the shin of Cal Foot and deflected past Saros. But Beniers gets his 20th. And done with another assist. And that, I think, is pretty much game. I mean, look, there's still 11 minutes, so you can't say it's over yet. But again, Nashville's offense is not their strong suit. Kraken have a 3-goal lead with 11:32 left. That's also Beniers' 50th point on the season, I believe. So Beniers tying the franchise record coming into the season in points as a rookie. Obviously, that record has been broken by a number of Kraken players this year. Whoa! Saros made the save. Out in front. Gord. Bjorkstrand. Gord. Tolvanen now with it. Around back to the other side to Gord along the boards. Gord puts it up to Borgen. Borgen back down around behind. They'll get it out to center. 2-on-1. Oh, nice save, Grubauer. McDonough almost had that on a broken 2-on-1 there. Tolvanen will reorganize as his line goes off for a change. Donato in now with the puck. Donato shot! Saved by Saros. Say the rebound. Once again, it was Sprong there, but he couldn't get to it before Nashville did. Of course, that was the... Early on in the game, that was the sequence that led to the first goal for the Kraken. Not quite in the same way, but Donato forcing right up net front. Save was made. Rebound just out enough for Sprong to chip it in over the pad of Saros to get that first goal. And this time, Nashville got to it before Sprong could. So stays 5-2. Now, we're just about at the 10-minute mark of this third period. As Donato chips it in. Donato gets to it in the corner. Nope, Nashville gets to it in the corner first. As we do hit the 10-minute mark. Nashville will get it out of their end. Here's Geeky on the rush. Around, power move. Ah, nope. Good play there by Saros. Saros is having to come up here with a couple of saves. The Nashville defense is just quite porous all of a sudden. Lauzon can't handle it on the blue line, so Nashville will regroup in their end. So Beniers is now the 4th Kraken player with 50 points. Again, 50 points led the Kraken at the end of last season. McCann hit 50. He was the only Kraken player to hit 50 last year. Stolen by McCann. Breakaway. Shot. Scores! Jared McCann gets a goal. I was going to say his second, but he has 2 primary assists. That's his 3rd point. Turnover, the blue line. McCann skates in on the break and scores. 6-2, and the Kraken are laying it on. And like I said, a porous Nashville defense just leaves Saros out to dry. A perfect shot from McCann. That's his 35th of the season. 35th of the season, and McCann now with 59 points. Still chasing Dunn, who has 60. Beniers can't quite dump it in. He does get it in, just kind of flubbed it a bit, so he didn't quite get it very far in. And that will probably be an unassisted goal for McCann. Cody Glass back out there, so probably just had the wind knocked out of him for Cody Glass. He is back out there after leaving to the locker room earlier on in this period. Saved by Grubauer, as that will be shot 15, and the Kraken still potentially in line to get their franchise record for fewest shots allowed on the road, but I think that's the 15th shot. They still have it marked as 14, which would tie the record for fewest shots on goal in franchise history. Kraken really holding the Nashville blue line. Nashville having a hard time getting through the neutral zone. They are able to do that, but it's a dump into the corner, which Alexiak will get to first. Shove it up along the boards. Nashville does get to it first. Gord hounding him. Sissons around the side, though, as he gets to it. The two players, number 22 on their back, fight for it in the corner as Borgen and Sissons join. 7:43 left. Shot. Blocked in front. Kraken breakout. We got a broken 3-on-2 here. Bjorkstrand's going to not get the pass across. You got to shoot that, Bjorkstrand. He scores! $7:25 left. The Kraken are just... The seal broke and the Kraken are laying it on. It is an... I mean, for lack of a better word, an avalanche of goals from the Kraken. That, I think Trennan might have put this in. This might be an own goal. Or maybe it wasn't Trennan. Who's number 22? And I don't mean Bjorkstrand. Well, yeah, Bjorkstrand. So they have a broken, they kind of a 2-on-1 or maybe a broken 2-on-3 or 3-on-2. And Bjorkstrand, I mean, he just needed to take the shot. There was no pass there. He tries to force a pass, deflected in front like it was always going to be, but then it's just hack and whack time in front of the net. And I don't know whose stick eventually whacked it in, but Bjorkstrand was the last Kraken player to touch it either way, and either way, it went past Saros, and it is now 7-2 Kraken. So I gotta get that caught up here. And now it is over. The Kraken, this would be a collapse of epic proportions, even to make this go to overtime. If they were to give up 5 goals in 7 minutes, as they're now, we've crossed the 7-minute mark left in this game. They just now show McCann's goal was in fact unassisted. The Kraken get the puck back in their end. So still on 14 shots on goal officially. So I think that's, I guess I was misspoke when I said they were going to get their 15th. Sprong has it in the Kraken end as he will dump it off for Susie. Here's Beniers with it through the neutral zone. Keeps with it again. Pulls up, tries to force it to Eberle. It's not there. Nashville gets to it, and they... Woo! Dunn turns it over in the neutral zone a bit. But McCann gets it, tries to put it back to Dunn. It bounces past Dunn to Grubauer. Grubauer does handle that. McCann will dump it in for Beniers to chase. Beniers gets to it first, but he's the only one there. Nashville gets to it. That will bounce into the neutral zone, so the Predators have it there. And we'll get into the Kraken offensive end. And I believe that's the guy whose aunt was a model or whatever they were saying last game. Done up to Schultz, broken up, or Schwartz, sorry, broken up. I always mix up those two of them. SCH players, you know? What are you going to do? You can only have so many on one team and not mix it up. All right, so let's see. Goals. These last ones. McCann was unassisted. Beniers' goal assisted by Dunn and Eberle. And Bjorkstrand's goal there assisted by Gord. So now you've got McCann with 3 points, I believe. Dunn with 2 points. Four minutes 42 left. As Nashville dumps it in again, Sissons and Borgen once again come together on the puck, but Borgen has it cleanly this time around behind to Alexiak. Wemberg now with it as he dumps it back to Borgen, and the Kraken are happy to just kind of kill time here. Borgen gets it up to Tolvanen. Tolvanen with 2 goals on the night. It's not night. On the day. We'll call it day. Tolvanen now with it behind the Nashville net. Doesn't quite scoop it up, so Nashville's got it coming out. But they turn it over in the neutral zone. Passed off. Bjorkstrand off to Larson. Larson will skate in with it. Down into the corner where he's met by ex-teammate Lauzon. I'm sure they probably partnered at some point last year. Kraken tried all sorts of things on the lines and defensive pairings. Not nearly as... Shot! Goes high from Susi. Shot in by Susi. Tanev's the first one to it. Tanev dumps it back around the other way where Sprong gets to it. Sprong skating in. Shot goes wide. Not a very dangerous one. Donato has the puck next to the net. Oh, out front. Almost had Tanev in the slot, but he got Predators players around him, and they do get it and get it back into the Kraken end. Now in the corner behind the Kraken net, where Larson and Donato fight for it. Oh! Evangelista. Sprong is offside. If Evangelista got all of that, that was probably the 3rd goal of the game for Nashville. Nashville does get their 15th shot with that little flub shot there by Evangelista. So Beniers gets his 20th. And then the Kraken score 2 more after that. Kraken with 4 unanswered goals after Nashville made it 3-2 early on in the 3rd. The Kraken get one from Larson on a beautiful passing play. Laid on the pressure for a while after there. Didn't score again. Not until 5 minutes, or I guess 4.5 minutes later. Beniers gets his 20th off of a give and go with Dunn on a rush chance. And then McCann gets an unassisted one, a turnover on the blue line in Nashville's end. He skates in all alone. Breakaway shot, puts it top corner past Saros. A perfect shot from McCann. Makes it 6-2. And then Bjorkstrand makes a mistake not taking a shot on an odd man rush, but the rebound ends up getting whacked in somehow. He gets the goal anyway, and it's 7-2. Kraken now with, 3:30 left or 4 minutes left maybe? Oh, 2:41 left, excuse me. Under 3 minutes left. So the Kraken will come out of Nashville with 3 points in 2 games. So good outcome there. I mean, again, there's still over 2.5 minutes left, but I think we can call it a win. We don't know what the final score will be just yet, but we can call it a win, I think. Which means the Kraken will pick up their 24th road win of the season, I believe. Make sure that I'm not wrong on that. Yeah, Kraken will pick up their 24th road win of the season. And they have... how many road games do they have left? I've been kind of keeping an eye on this. The Kraken, I think, have enough road games left where they could end up with as many road wins this season as they had wins all of last season. Road or otherwise. All right, how many road games do we have left after this? We got Minnesota. Oh, they've got 4 left. So they got Minnesota, Vancouver, Arizona, and Vegas. So they'd have to take care of the 2 games in Vancouver and Arizona, and then get 1 of 2 at least between Vegas and Minnesota. But they could do it. They could end up with as many wins on the road this season as they had period last season. But I think we can start realistically talking about that. If they win in Minnesota, I think we can start talking about it. Or if they lose in Minnesota but do win the 2 games in Vancouver and Arizona, you can talk about it going into that last road game in Vegas just before the second last game of the season. think that's shot 16 on goal, so it is 16th shot on goal. Kraken still in line if they can prevent Nashville from shooting 2 more shots on goal. They can get the fewest shots on goal allowed this season and fewest road shots on goal allowed in franchise history. So see if they can do that. I think that's what we got to watch for the rest of this game. Nashville will try to break it out. They turn it over in the neutral zone as Schultz dumps it back in. Gord with it, stays on side, skates in. Oh, as the tries to go across a couple defenders and has it broken up. Oh, turnover. Schultz tries to dump it back, isn't able to. Lead passes well out in front of the guy that he meant to go for there. Kraken will get to it first behind their net. Oh, nope, broken up. Out in front. Gord gets it to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand tries to put it around his guy. Isn't able to, but does get it at least out. We got 1 minute left in the game as Schultz just stands all alone in the Kraken defensive end with the puck. Now is joined by a couple of teammates. Donato with the puck now getting into the Nashville end. A little move along the boards. Keeps it. Goes out in front. Oh! 45 seconds left to prevent 2 shots on goal. That's what we're looking for now. Of course, preventing those shots on goal does hurt Grubauer's save percentage, but 30 seconds left. Nashville looks resigned to, and Tanev puts himself offside by passing it back. 20 seconds left. Go Kraken from the UK. Thank you. Welcome from the UK. Welcome, I guess, from the west coast of the US, but welcome. I think it's also safe to say for people that were betting on the Kraken, they did win this one. Finally did get a power play goal. Yep. Yeah, Tolvanen got a power play goal. It was at that point 2-0 after Tolvanen scored the power play goal. I wouldn't say it was a great game for the power play. And that will do it. Kraken wins 7-2. Final 7-2 over the Nashville Predators, outshooting them 39-16. It is a new franchise record for fewest shots on goal allowed in a road game. And Grubauer coming in off of the injury. Oh, fish thrown on the ice. A stuffed fish thrown on the ice from the stands. Good little touch there from a Kraken fan. They showed the Kraken fans holding that stuffed fish earlier in the game, so we know who it was. We know who the culprits were there. Biggest point differential season 1 to season 2 in NHL history. The Kraken set an NHL record there. 28 points more already this season than they had last season, which is the most a team has ever had from their first to second season. Nashville did get absolutely blown out of their own arena there in the third period. What a game. Kraken pick up 2 big points there. So Kraken set, again, a franchise record for fewest shots on goal allowed in a road game. Fewest shots on goal allowed in a road game. Stumble over those words. So 16 shots allowed. That broke the previous record of 18 allowed in a road game. They also set an NHL record, as I just said, for most points. Biggest point improvement from one season to the next. Now with 28 more points in the standings than they had last season. Ending last season with 66, now at 88 or 60 points, now at 88 this season. So 28 more, which is an NHL record for improvement one season to the next between first 2 seasons of a franchise. Which is a record that I, again, hope stands for quite a while. Hopefully the NHL doesn't do any expanding anytime soon. So, yeah. That is finally the offense we would have liked to see. Obviously, you know, if you could pick and choose, you might want to spread a couple of those goals into the game on Thursday and win both of these games. But you know what? Kraken come out of it with 3 points in the standings. And I think at this point, especially if Winnipeg, actually, they don't even need Winnipeg to lose, because they're now well clear of Nashville. Let's see here. So before we take a look at the other games, so the Kraken now at 88 points. They're 8 points clear of Nashville with having played one more game. So even if Nashville wins that game in hand that they have on the Kraken, then the Kraken will still be 6 points ahead of Nashville, and they're 3 points ahead of Winnipeg, but Winnipeg has played an extra game and are currently playing right now and actually down 1-0 to the Kings late in the first. So I'd say it's all but guaranteed now the Kraken make the playoffs. And we've kind of been saying that for a little bit now, but it just, there's kind of like it's been in the like 90s in percent that the Kraken will make the playoffs for a while now. And I think this definitely gains a couple more percent points there, maybe from like 95 to 97%, or even 99% the Kraken will make the playoffs. But what a game. Thanks for the stream. Yep, definitely. Thank you all for joining. Definitely. We'll keep it going maybe here for a little bit longer. Celebrate this win. Then I definitely got to eat some lunch, get some food in me here. I'm a little hungry. But big win for the Kraken. Again, one of the teams they were competing for that playoff spot with. And in Minnesota on Monday for the Kraken, and that could very well end up being a playoff matchup for the Kraken and the Wild. So that'll be definitely a game to watch. Beniers with his 20th goal and 50th point as well in this game. So let's go over the scoring one more time, just for people that weren't here for the whole time. All right, so things got started early, 3:13 into the first. It was Sprong, or actually Donato, coming in with a puck on a rush chance, forces it towards the net, tries to shove it through the 5-hole of Saros, isn't able to make that happen. Saros comes up with the save, but the rebound off his pad goes just wide enough for Sprong to get a stick on it and shovel it over the pad of Saros, getting the Kraken on the board early. Once again, it's Sprong who scores first for, I think that's the third game in a row that, I guess no, the one in Dallas, Sprong assisted on the Tanev goal, but Sprong with a primary point in all three of these last three games, and a goal in all three of the games because he still picked up a goal in that Dallas game. So a goal streak building here for Sprong. And then later on in the first, the Kraken continued to have a pretty good first period, but it's not until their third power play of that first period that they do eventually score. It's Eeli Tolvanen on a great crossing pass from McCann. He finds the top corner perfectly to score on his old team. 2-0 at the end of one. Again, the Kraken, there was 5 power plays in that first period, 2 for Nashville, 3 for the Kraken. The first 4 of which, again, 2 for each team, were quite uninspired, we'll say. But the Kraken do end up scoring on that third power play for them, 5th of the period. Then second period, early on, 1:43 into the second period. Goal that looked a lot like the one Nashville scored in the previous game. It's a rebound from the same side on the same end of the ice, same side of that end. Shot rebounds off of the same right pad of Grubauer. Last time it was Decord, obviously, but Grubauer out to the other side, and it's a Nashville player that goes right to. He just has to shove it into the net. Grubauer wasn't able to get back because he didn't know where the puck was. So a pretty similar goal to what we saw in the last game. That made it 2-1 early in the second. But Tolvanen on a turnover by Saros. Saros comes way out of the net to prevent a breakaway from Bjorkstrand. But as he's trying to clear it back out, puts it right into the gut of Tolvanen on the blue line. Tolvanen then is able to drop the puck to his stick and hit it into what is a completely empty net, making it 3-1, getting his second goal of the game. Then, once again, early on in the third, Nashville able to get on the board again. Duchesne with a a nice tip that Grubauer has no way to predict the tip, but he could definitely have sealed off the post better than he did. He left a gap between the post and where he was, and that gap is where that tip from Duchesne went in. If he had sealed off the post, I think that probably stays out. So at that point, it's 3-2. 3 minutes later, or a little under 3 minutes later, though, Kraken, another great passing play in the offensive end. Beniers to Dunn, Dunn to McCann, McCann across and up to Larson. Larson puts it top corner. Kraken back up 4-2, and that pretty much just started the opened the floodgates, if you will, for the Kraken. A few minutes later, it's Beniers off of a give and go. It turns into a 3-on-1. It looked like a 2-on-1 with him and McCann. He dumps it to Dunn following the play in. Dunn back to Beniers. Beniers puts it off of who was it? There's a defenseman slide. I think it was Cal Foot sliding in front of Beniers. It goes off of Foot a little bit and deflects wide of Saros and into the net, into the corner behind him. For Beniers, that's his 20th of the season, which now brings him to within 1 of rookie goal scoring. Still 1 behind, who is it? The guy from, we talked about it earlier. 1 behind Wyatt Johnson of Dallas. But his 20th of the season and 50th point, which the 50 points still leads all rookies now by 9 points. He has the lead there. Then not long after that, a couple minutes later, it's McCann who picks up just a straight up turnover on the blue line by the Predators. McCann skates in all alone, breakaway for him, and puts it again perfectly top corner over the glove hand of Saros, getting beat over that glove hand a few times in this game, but left out to dry quite a few times as well. That made it 6-2, and then again, this time under 2 minutes later, another odd man rush is that Nashville defense just completely falling apart after playing 5 periods of good defense on the Kraken. And Bjorkstrand on that rush chance, definitely you want to see him shoot that puck, but he ends up trying to force a pass where there was no passing lane. Tries to force that pass right net front. It isn't there. It's blocked obviously in front, but then the puck bounces off the guy that blocks it and just turns it into hack and whack time, as Forsland calls it in front. And I'm still not sure. I'll have to look at the replay. Hopefully they have a slow-mo of it, of whose stick it ends up going off of, but either way, it goes off of somebody's stick past Saros into the net, and regardless of whose stick it was, Bjorkstrand was the last Kraken player to touch it, so he picks up his 17th of the season, gets the Kraken their 7th of the game, and they pretty much just hold down the fort from there. Didn't really look too terribly eager to score past that, which, I mean, you're up 5 points with like 6 minutes left, or I guess 7.5 minutes left at that point, so yep, that was it. Kraken end up winning, setting those records we talked about. Yeah, and the record for points differential between the two seasons could still definitely go up. So the Kraken, with still, I want to say 10 games remaining, the Kraken still could increase that record by as much as 20 points. I think that's kind of unlikely, but Kraken can definitely increase that record of the franchise to improve the most in NHL history from first season to the next season. Samantha says hi. Hello, Samantha. Riley says hi back as well. Nashville got smoked. Yes, they absolutely did. It was even as early as a couple minutes into the third period, it was looking like a bit of a nail biter, but the Kraken again just laid it on throughout the rest of that third period. What a game. Yep, great game from the Kraken. Good job, Kraken and Scott. Well, I appreciate it. I'm sure the Kraken appreciate it as well. They're definitely going to be happy with this outcome and look to carry that offense over into the game in Minnesota against the Wild. Another team that's looking, I mean, Minnesota's in the playoffs, but they're going to be looking to keep that playoff position going. Playoff positioning for them is definitely, they've got a good chance at winning the division. There's the three teams at the top of that Central Division, like we talked about in the middle of the game, all have just about an equal chance to win the division right now. So it'll be a playoff atmosphere in Minnesota for sure. And it very well could be a playoff match. Like this could be a preview. These next two games actually. So the Kraken get Minnesota in Minnesota and then come home to play LA. And both of those could be matchups that we see in the first round. So these next two games are going to be pretty interesting from a playoff perspective. It's I would say two of the four most likely teams the Kraken are going to face in the first round. But I think with that, if there's any final comments, throw any final comments in there. Otherwise, we'll start to wrap things up with. Again, I'm a little bit hungry at this point, so I need to get some food in and then get ready to put the R&R together. Obviously, it'll be a pretty upbeat R&R with this game. Lots of scoring, so lots of screenshots. And in a good way. But yeah, unless there's any more final comments from anybody, we'll let's see if we can look at the schedule one more time and find one more game to stream for this season. Kraken schedule. Do they have any more? They have Arizona on April 10th, and then Vegas. That's two back-to-back road games. You know what? I think that Arizona game would be a fun one to stream for. April 10th. That'll be in the that'll be in Mullet Arena. That's the one game the Kraken get in Mullet this year. They'll get two next year. So yeah, let's do that one. Let's stream. I think we'll aim to stream. I'm not going to commit to it fully here, but let's aim to do the last regular season stream of the season. We'll do in Arizona. Yeah, I think we'll do in Arizona. And then we'll definitely stream during the playoffs. I don't know if we'll stream every road game. We might stream we'll see. We might stream every road game. It could be good. We'll definitely stream more often in the playoffs than we have during the regular season. We'll figure it out. We'll definitely be streaming in the postseason for sure. Anyway. Do I have a favorite puck? Whatever puck ends up in the back of an opponent net for the Kraken. I don't know. Thumbnails are brilliant. Appreciate it. Oh, of the pucks. You probably mean of the pucks I have in the background. I do like the one from the first home game. I've also got a few over here. We got some other ones that don't hang out in the background. Got this one. This is from Tampa Bay last season. It's the first. I got this one. It was the first game that I asked a post-game question of. It was Dave Hackstall asked a question. So that was the first game I asked a post-game question. So I got one from that one. Got one from the Pittsburgh game last year. That one also not a game that went well for the Kraken. But that was the first game I was in the press box for, so I got one for that. And then this year I got the one from another loss. Unfortunately, the only commemorative pucks I have are all from Kraken losses, but the Montreal game from this year, and this was Shane Wright's first NHL goal. So got those ones. I'd say my favorite one's probably I don't know. I'd say probably the first home game, the Vancouver one. Again, all four of them are losses for the Kraken, so I guess I shouldn't buy pucks during games. But although to be fair, I only bought two of them during the games. Two of them, one I got off eBay, and the other one my wife Kate got me as a present. So the Pittsburgh one, but. Yeah, I suppose these commemorative pucks don't tend to go very well. The other ones I've got the Release the Kraken one. That was the first merch drop the Kraken did after releasing the name. So that one's fun. Got a official, it wasn't a in-game, it's an official in-game style puck, but they never played with it. But it's signed by Ron Francis, so that one's good. And then the Greater Seattle Hockey League puck from the last season, it was that, and now it's the Kraken Adult Hockey League or whatever they call it. But I got a a puck from the last year of the Greater Seattle Hockey League before they changed their name and took on the sponsorship from the Kraken. So I think that's all the pucks I have right now. I don't think there's any hiding behind the R&R jersey. Nope, that's all the pucks I have. I have the one baseball from a commemorative baseball I've had forever since the 116 win season. So anyway, Kraken playoff prediction. It depends on who they play. If I'm being honest, I feel like the Kraken. If I'm being honest, I feel like they probably lose in the first round in, I would say, 6 games. Right now, I think it depends a lot on their opponent, and I'm definitely interested to see how they do against LA. They beat LA 3 times. They're 3-0 against LA so far this season, but those first 3 all came towards the beginning of the year, so it's been a long time since they played the Kings. And now they'll get the Kings while the Kings are on a heater here towards the end of the season and pretty close to the playoffs. So if the Kraken pull off that one, then I think I'll feel pretty good about the Kings matchup. I mean, it'll still be, I think, the playoffs, 7 games against all of the teams the Kraken are likely to play are going to be pretty good teams and tough outs for sure. But, yeah. If the Kraken do win that game, and especially if they win it convincingly in LA, then I'd maybe pick the Kraken in 6 or 7 against the Kings if they end up playing them. I think Minnesota also, the next game they play against Minnesota. Minnesota's the other one I feel like the Kraken have a fair chance at winning that series. Dallas would be a pretty even. I could see a Dallas series going to 7 games. But if they end up against Colorado or Vegas maybe it's more like 6. Colorado, I mean, that's a season series the Kraken have also done pretty well in, but boy, that Avalanche team, I don't know. I think the Kraken and King, they'll give whatever team they play a good run, and they'll definitely have a shot to win whatever series they play in. But I don't know. Obviously, what I'm hoping for is the Kraken win 16 games in the playoffs and lose 0. That's what we're aiming for. Kraken goes 16-0 in the playoffs, which we know what 16 wins in a playoff series or in a playoff run means. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to call it here. So thank you very much for joining, hanging out in this stream. If you haven't already, feel free to drop a like just to help out the channel a little bit. Looks like we already got 18, so that's pretty good. Appreciate that. But again, thank you all very much for joining. Big Kraken win, 7-2 over the Nashville Predators. 88 points now in the season for the Kraken, and basically guaranteed to make the playoffs now with that win. The rest of the way, all they can do is win, and the teams behind them have hope for enough losses. But yeah, big win. And other than that, again, thanks for joining, and I'll see you all in the R&R. And again, we'll do at least, I think we'll try and get one more stream in the regular season and stream in the playoffs. So this won't be the last one. But thanks again. Later. Go Kraken. Go Kraken.